it is. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? And you are now riding with Ghost Rider. If you don't know, now you know. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, it's Saturday. Like, you guys know I don't stream on Saturdays. I just stream on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 7 a.m. in the Riding with Ghost Rider series. But today, man, you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was an absolute necessity for me to come stream today. You know? And if you guys read the title of the stream, you would know what I'm talking about. I'm going to start off by saying this. Look, so I see President Trump. He has Zoran Mamdani. If you guys don't know, he's the newly elected mayor of New York City. He's 34 years old. Okay? 34-year-old mayor of New York City. He is a proclaimed democratic socialist. You ask Ghost, what does a democratic socialist mean? I have not the slightest idea. I couldn't tell you. I have no clue. But whatever a democratic socialist is, Mamdani is a proclaimed democratic socialist. So basically, President Trump has been calling him a communist, okay? Now, that being said, seeing Mamdani come to the White House yesterday, and President Trump gave him the warmest of welcomes, guys. We're going to go over the content. I'll go over the content with you guys in just a second. I got some news stories for you. But President Trump gave Mamdani the warmest of welcomes. Within itself, to me, that's a story. For President Trump to be against Mamdani, or for President Trump to call him a socialist or even a communist, he has called Mamdani a communist and a socialist. For him to call him that and see Mamdani come to the White House and see how President Trump responded to him so positively, you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing to me, to Ghost Rider. I mean, who don't want to see unity? I mean, I'm sure there's people who are Republicans or Democrats or who are so ingrained in this red, blue, us against you kind of war. They don't want to see unity, but seeing President Trump embrace Zoran, man, that was a great thing. That's what we want to see. What surprised me is Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out saying that she was about to retire. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is retiring. She's not running for re-election in the midterms. That's a surprise. And being that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a chief ally of President Trump, man, like, that's a problem. The same day, just think about that, man. The same day Zoran Mamdani come to the White House, President Trump is embracing him. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Think about it if you were MAGA, though. Think about if you were MAGA and you like President Trump and you like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So what was yesterday for you if you were MAGA? And you see Marjorie Taylor Greene Zoran Mamdani come to the White House after President Trump called him a communist and he embraced him. And you see Marjorie Taylor Greene getting kicked out the party. What if you MAGA? How does that look? What I'm trying to say is, how does the last 6 months look for MAGA? One of their biggest voices, Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk is dead. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's out the party. Who would have ever thought that or said that in 2024 or 2023 even? Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. We're going to go ahead and get into it. To me, y'all, it's all about loyalty. That's what life is about loyalty. Loyalty is the strongest of the characteristic traits to have, to me. And let me tell you why. You like, Ghost, you tripping. I know you tripping. Love is way more stronger than loyalty. Let me tell you why loyalty is the strongest of the characteristic traits. Let's say a mom, she has a son and she loves that son. Say her son goes off the rails and say he rapes and he kills a mom, children. What mom could protect that? She still love her son. You think love will stop her, though, from picking up the phone and calling the police? No. She would have called the police on her son, even if she loves him. Now, say someone in the mafia did the same thing. One of your friends in the mafia, he raped and killed a woman with 2 kids. You think he gonna call the police? Probably not. That's what loyalty is. See, what loyalty is stronger than love, man. Real love is a knowledge. Like when you really love someone, it's in your head. You know you love them. That's my mama. So you know that's your mama. So you got love for her in a different way. Once you have the knowledge of that love, it becomes really hard to break, guys. Just like I said, it's like a mother loving a child. That's more than an emotion. It's knowledge. Well, loyalty is a knowledge, just like love is. But the reason I say that loyalty is stronger than love is because whether you have a sincere love for someone or not, when you loyal to them, it serves that person better than love. Does that make sense? You could love me and still tell on me. But if you loyal to me, you probably not going to tell on me. Like you don't go to work every day, even when you don't feel like it because you love your boss or because you love your job. Does that make sense? Love has nothing to do with that. When someone loves you, they'll turn on you, man. But when they are loyal to you, they'll never fold. That's the difference between loyalty and love. You say, Ghost, why are you talking about loyalty and love today? This is a political stream. Guys, if y'all haven't liked the video, you on a cell phone, just double tap your screen. It's free to show someone some love, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Guys, the reason why Ghost is talking about loyalty and love, thank you for the support, is because President Trump must have loved Marjorie Taylor Greene when she supported him, spending millions of her own dollars to support him. How many of you guys in this stream voted for President Trump? Probably a few of y'all, right? But how many of y'all spent any money? Okay, I'm going to donate to President Trump. What you donate? I'm going to donate $1,000. You say if you donated $1,000 to President Trump, you're a regular person. That's some support. I don't care how much you make, unless you got Elon money. But other than that, you donated. That's what I'm trying to say. She's just supported guys. Not only did you see her standing in the gap with him when you seen her on TV, I know you seen her if you follow politics. You seen MTG standing in the gap for President Trump. Not only did she stand in the gap for him, she spent millions of her own dollars to support him. Imagine you being a woman, you being a female. This ain't Thomas Massey he's dealing with. President Trump, does he know how to handle or deal with women? This ain't Thomas Massey he's dealing with. This ain't Ron Paul. This ain't none of those men. This is a woman, man. This is a female. And she's got soft feelings and soft emotions. And she spent millions of her dollars supporting you, bro. Her own money. Millions. When they trying to lock him up in jail, you know who was by his side defending him? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Every time he ran for president, you know who was supporting him? Marjorie Taylor Greene. January the 6th, do you know who was supporting President Trump through all of that? Let's not forget President Trump through everything you've been through, and you've been through way more than an ordinary president. You know who was supporting you through all of that? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She put her reputation on the line. She put her career on the line. She put her future on the line, and she put her name on the line, President Trump, to support you when it wasn't popular to support you. That girl was supporting you. So when she finally want to do something for herself, she want to run for Senate, she want to run for governor. When she want to do something for herself, it doesn't matter what the numbers say, President Trump. Forget what that numbers say. Let me tell you something. Jasmine Crockett, she in Texas, right, y'all? She said she wanted to run for Senate. I seen some numbers with Jasmine running for Senate. I seen some numbers with AOC running for Senate. And Jasmine's numbers in Texas running for Senate, they don't look all that good. But let me tell you something. This is a situation different than Marjorie Taylor Greene with Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett don't have a Democratic president who could step forward and support her vocally. That's going to change those numbers. But I'm telling you, Jasmine could win that election, and she got the right political strategists behind her. Any politician can win. They got to be talking about the right stuff, and they got to be reaching the right people, and they got to do enough to motivate the people. What everything everybody's talking about is nonsense. Marjorie Taylor Greene could win that Senate seat in Georgia. She just needs your support, President Trump. So imagine, President Trump, you spend millions of your dollars to support a man. Who you going to support? Let's say you supporting Bill Clinton, President Trump, millions of your dollars, millions of your own dollars. And you're not just some Joe Blow off the street or some rich donor or some rich business owner. You are actually a congressperson. And you spend millions of your dollars to help President Clinton. And then President Clinton comes to you. He know you got his back. He know you standing with him. Man, you know how much dirt and junk I took to stand with you, boy? I stood in the gap with you, President T. That's how you will feel about anybody else. That's how you feel about Bill Clinton. That's how Marjorie Taylor Greene feeling. I understand how she feel. You got to have compassion and empathy. She feel like she stood in the gap with you, man. Whenever everybody else was against you, she is one of the people who held it together. And imagine you president and you popular, and she going to run for Senate in a Republican state at that. And you tell her no, she gonna get demolished. I don't care if she do get demolished. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to stand in the gap with her because of what she did for you, man. She want to run for Senate and governor. It don't matter what the numbers say. Your support for her, President Trump, can change those numbers. You should know that. However, just like you shun Nikki Haley for a position in your cabinet, and Nikki ain't nothing like Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Nikki went wrong with you like Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Just like you shun Nikki Haley, MTG found this out the hard way, that the Republican Party is not for minorities or women. And that's the bottom line. There's no way in the world you're going to tell me someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she like number 5 in fundraising and all of MAGA. That's all of the Republican Party. She number 5 in fundraising. And you going to tell me that is she not good enough to run for Senate to get your support? Nah, the Republican Party, they still don't support women after all these years. No growth. They would rather support, the Republican Party would rather support people like Nick Fuentes or some crazy far-right conspiracy theorists than to support MTG. And why did President Trump turn on her? Y'all tell me why he turned on her. For speaking the truth? Y'all just think about that for a moment. Speaking the truth. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? If I was the president and you was my advisor or congresswoman or whoever sidekick, that's what I would want you to do, to speak the truth. What President Trump thought she was supposed to do was to support him, right or wrong, and just stay happily in your Congress spot. Go sit down, be quiet, and be happy for your Congress spot. You a woman, and shut up and support me, right, wrong, or indifferent, and stay in that spot. He thought she was supposed to support him, right, wrong, or indifferent, but that does more damage to him than help him. And he gonna find that out soon, President Trump. It hurts you more when you don't allow people to just speak freely and tell you the truth, man. The cost of living is way too high. That hurts you for you not allowing people to do that, President Trump, because how you gonna know? You don't know what the cost of living is because you won't let people tell you what's going on in the country. Because if they tell you something bad, you going to flip on them. You going to turn on them. And think about this, guys. This morning, I was going to come on a Saturday and just do a live stream. And to do the live stream, I was going to give President Trump so much praise. Mamdani comes to the White House and President Trump takes a turn. He's singing praises about Mamdani. Y'all seen that? Make sure you go watch CNN or Fox or however you consume your news, MSNBC. Y'all check that out, man. Mamdani come to the White House. All President Trump had to do was say positive stuff about him. I'm about to tell y'all about that right now. No one is happier than that than me. I could promise you that. Unity. It's about time. I would say that it's a good day for America. On the same day Mamdani getting praised, President Trump, that's a good day for America. But then on that same day, we're going to see a woman who supported you with millions of her own dollars to see her kicked out the party like a vagabond just for speaking the truth and caring about her own political future. I would say, guys, that's a sad day for Republicans, man. A real sad day. Even if I could give President Trump praise for what he did with Mamdani to show that unity, you know what I'm saying? That's the direction he needs to move in. That's the direction I've been saying he need to move in for day one. Bipartisanship. That's the way the system was designed. That's how you need to run the system. So to see that, yeah, man. Mamdani, President Trump, great job, man. Great job moving in the right direction. Those were great images for the entire nation. To see a Democrat, 34 years old, with Bernie Sanders, who you call a socialist, to hear him praising Bernie Sanders and Bernie Sanders' ideas, that's a great job. I love to see that. But on the same day, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What you guys think? Guys, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone is welcome in this stream. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the conversation and let your voices be heard. Y'all could discuss it amongst yourselves. I see you down there. Let's start the conversation. One last thing, guys. We do have to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking money from no party or no one else, just you guys. So super chats, super stickers, and super thanks, they all start at 99 cents. If you want to donate to the channel, start a conversation, or have your comment highlighted or read immediately, just hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. So our first news story this morning, we're going to start with, it comes from Alternate. Okay, I know you guys might not have heard of it. That's ALTERNET, Alternate. And it was published, of course, yesterday. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican from Georgia, has announced that she will not seek another term in the U.S. House of Representatives just a week after President Trump unendorsed her. How do you unendorse someone? Oh, my bad. I endorse you. I support you. But, oh, you said you don't support me for a second. Well, I unsupport you. I unendorse you. What? How long President Trump been in politics? About 10 years. So you going to tell me what about the other 7, 8, however many years I've been supporting you, man? You going to just throw that in the trash? That's why I started the stream out about loyalty, man. In a lengthy statement posted to her X account, Greene lamented that the political industrial complex of both parties that encourages Americans to hate on the other side. Ain't that what Ghost been talking about? Right versus the left, red versus blue, man. She said it has made it so nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. It looked like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she had a come to Jesus moment or something, didn't she? I'm saying this the same Marjorie Taylor Greene. Guys, I wish I could play some comments of Marjorie, some footage of Marjorie. This the same Marjorie Taylor Greene talking like this? Also, she maintained that while she remains a stalwart Trump supporter and a member of the MAGA movement, Republican leadership sidelined the House and refuses to address the looming crisis of expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits. Greene has been consistently criticizing Republicans for their failure to extend the ACA credits, saying her adult children being notified that their monthly payments were doubling in 2026. That's what I want to ask you, President T. I'm saying, what was she saying to make you unendorse her? She was saying that she think that you mess with a child molester. That she messed with a child. That's what she said. Is that what she said? I'm saying, what she say, President Trump? She said she thought you was the worst president ever. Is that what she said? Because I'm saying, President Trump, if you unendorsed her because she was talking about those Affordable Care Act subsidies, I'm saying you got to think about what you're doing, President T. Are you thinking about what you're doing? I'm saying you got to address those Affordable Care Act subsidies. If it was me, that's all I would have been. I'd still be talking about it if I was the Democrats. Because the people right now in the mail, they're starting to get those documents to tell them that their premiums have went up or doubled. So she talking about the Affordable Care Act subsidies and her children doubling in 2026. That's why you unendorsed her? It's just the truth. She just speaking truth. That made me like President Trump. I could never work for you because I can't tell you the truth. And if I tell you the truth, you gonna stomp on me. You gonna not, talking about completely disassociate with me just for telling the truth. The Georgia Republican mostly toed the line between criticizing House Speaker Mike Johnson and GOP leaders while praising Trump and maintaining her commitment to far-right causes. However, her retirement announcement contains elements of bitterness, as it would, directed at the president, who called her a ranting lunatic in a True Social post last week. President Trump, if there's one weakness within you, my brother, one weakness within you, my brother. And Ghost ain't talking like a Democrat right now because Ghost ain't never been no Democrat. Ghost is talking like a human. Ghost is talking like if I was Ivanka, or if I was Jared, or if I was Don, and I was talking to you. I'm talking like that right now, President Trump. If I could see one weakness in you, she a raging lunatic because she don't support a policy. This how you do your people. I have too much self-respect and dignity, love my family way too much, and do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterm, she wrote. Marjorie, I disagree with you on that, baby. I'm saying you got to stand there and fight. That's what I would say. I don't keep trying to, imagine how that's going to look to the people in your district that he trying to primary you. I'm saying, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, the wrong one, the primary, bro. They know how much she stood in the gap for. Man, forget it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Put yourself in that situation. It's your millions that you spent to support him. Well, you knowing in some situations you thought he could have been wrong, but you still supporting him. In some situations, against all odds, you still had his back and you still supported him. And imagine if you did that and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you speak the truth, you start speaking truth, and then you a raging lunatic. She said in turn, be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me? Now she telling us stuff that's going on. He dumped tens of millions of dollars against her and tried to destroy her. Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's all so absurd and completely unserious, she continued. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. That's how Marjorie feels, man. She feel like she a battered wife. Golly, man. I'm saying that is not a good look, man. Listen, guys, this is something that might not. If you guys know anything about sports, they talk about stuff that don't show up on the stat sheet. And what I'm saying, this situation right here, what he did with Mamdani yesterday, embracing Mamdani, that's going to show up on the stat sheet for him. That looked real good. People enjoyed that. I promise you, even his opponents, I tried to tell him that a long time ago. And they just need to see you standing, the optics of seeing you standing next to a Democrat, doing business with a Democrat. They love Mamdani. The future of the Democratic Party, I don't know about that, but I know he's a great politician and they love him. So to see President Trump standing next to him, making good comments for him, that helped the Republican cause. In my opinion, that helped President Trump's cause. Even some of President Trump's hardest opponents, I heard them. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I've been trying to tell you to do that. That'll tamp down some of the political violence if you could somewhat not reach across the aisle, because I know that'd be almost impossible, but if you could at least put your hand out there. But what I'm saying, you doing that to Marjorie Taylor Greene the same way you getting points for Mamdani yesterday, embracing Mamdani, they taking away a whole lot of points, man, because they know Marjorie Taylor Greene rock with you, man. And optics is everything in politics if you guys haven't figured that out. And they know she rock with him. And I'm saying we looking for what she did to make a regular person act like that. Ghost got a behavior disorder, and I wouldn't do that. All the stuff he might be saying about her, I ain't saying that I wouldn't say it, but I wouldn't say it in a way that it would ever get published or she would ever hear it. It's all so absurd and completely unserious, she continued. I refuse to be a battered wife. Greene also wrote in her announcement that she only disagreed with Trump on H-1B visa for foreign workers, deregulation of artificial intelligence, his call for 50-year mortgages, which MTG calls scams, all involvement in foreign wars, and releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files. So I'm trying to agree. I'm trying to see where I'm looking for where President Trump, it was called for his actions or his words or him turning against a person that close to him. I'm trying to see where it's called for. First of all, she came to you. This is a female now. You always got to remember that. She came to you and she said she wanted to run for Senate or governor, and you told her she didn't have a chance. So in my opinion, so if I didn't spend, look, forget Marjorie Taylor Greene, y'all. Forget President Trump. Let's make this me and you for a second. That's how ghosts get down. That's how I win arguments. Let's make this me and you. Let's say I supported you, spending millions of my own dollars, millions, supporting you. Let's say I supported you whenever everybody else was against you and trying to lock you up. I stuck my neck out there to get locked up too and stood with you. I'm saying in a situation like that, look, y'all got to understand. Let's talk politics for a second, okay? Let's get off the friendships and everything like that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, in order for her to win an election in Georgia, she got to move way to the middle. You understand that? You see how big Atlanta is? You know how many black people in Atlanta? You got to think about the whole state of Georgia. If you're going to win a statewide election, whether you running for Senate or whether you're going to run for governor, all that MAGA stuff and that, I mean, it's going to play in the Republican districts. That MAGA is going to play all the way through Georgia in Republican districts. What I'm saying, you got a bunch of moderates like Georgia's governor. What's his name? Kemp? They old governor. Two-term governor. He's a straight moderate. Him and President Trump bump heads. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she has to be saying that. So if she wants to run for Senate or she wants to run for governor, she got to shift to the center, because she can't win an election doing what President Trump was doing or talking about what President Trump is talking about. Now let's look at the beef that she has with President Trump, or not the beef, the things that she opposed him over, which caused him to get at her, okay? H-1B visas. So if Marjorie Taylor Greene is against anybody, not saying that we agree with her, we might agree more with President Trump, but this your road dog, President Trump. Maybe she needs to, I don't know, because if the H-1B visa thing, she taking a MAGA stance. That's a MAGA stance. Did President Trump ban MAGA? Is MAGA dead? Did MAGA die with Charlie Kirk? That's the question. Because I'm saying this is a MAGA stance. What you beefing with her about? Deregulation of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence need to be regulated. That's a common sense thing. See, the problem is when it's about money. If it's about money, listen, there's a real danger. Think about this. If you guys know anything about artificial intelligence, you know that we don't know nothing about artificial intelligence. What's up, Rizza? Good morning, baby. Good morning. As you guys come into the stream, I ask y'all double tap the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. Guys, if you know anything about artificial intelligence, you're going to know we don't know enough. So I'm saying we dumping all over the world. They dumping trillions of dollars in this technology. You going to let a man nah, it needs to be regulated. What's wrong with that? 50-year mortgages. President Trump, you know that 50-year mortgages is a scam. You know that is a scam. If it's not a scam, 50-year mortgages is not no plan to help nobody in no economy. All involvement in foreign wars, President Trump, that was y'all's thing. That was y'all's beef. Y'all MAGA. Y'all make America great again. Y'all America first. That's what you preached, that you weren't finna be going to war with Venezuela. That's what you preached. That's what MAGA is about. You preached that you weren't finna be bombing Iran, President Trump. Now you doing that. I'm not MAGA. In my opinion, making America great is not allowing Putin to have half of Ukraine. That's making America great. Standing 10, Ronald Reagan days, that's making America great. In my opinion, making America great is what he's doing in Venezuela. In Ghost opinion, making America great is what he did in Israel. In Ghost opinion, bringing peace to the whole world, that's making America great. What she's saying is she don't want to have no involvement in no foreign wars. President Trump, that's what y'all preached before you came into the White House. You can't get mad at her now because you done stepped away from MAGA. Or your last 4 years, you just want to do it the way you want to do it. Or maybe the military telling you you need to do A, B, and C. Listen, let me tell you something. All these politicians who running for president, if Ghost was running for president, some stuff I wouldn't promise that I could or couldn't do. Does that make sense to you? Like as far as the military and moving and doing all, I would never make no promises that I wouldn't invade a foreign country. Because as a civilian, I don't have enough intelligence or information to know whether or not it's warranted or the decision I would make in that situation. Does that make sense? So I'm saying, President Trump, all this stuff you were saying before you ran for election, all of that is on you. You the one said make America great again and we ain't gonna be involved in foreign wars. You said that, President Trump, because she's standing 10 on something what you said. How can you get mad at her? That is what MAGA is. But I think what really got it was the releasing of the Jeffrey Epstein files. He probably took that as like that was like a stab in his back. Is that what you did, President Trump? Her running over there with Ro Khanna and them and going against Mike Johnson and making sure the Jeffrey Epstein files are released. But I'm saying, President Trump, you got to look at it from MTG position. MTG know you not finna go to jail over something in the Epstein file. She know you not. And I'm saying she know that in 2029, the politicians forget it. Stephen Miller, like he forget it. J.D. Vance sometimes forget it. President Trump might forget it. But she knows, she remember January 21st of 2029, y'all going to be on the first thing smoking up out of D.C. But guess what's still going to be a law? Guess what's still going to be around? That Epstein stuff, it's going to still be there. She know it's going to outlive you. She know you're not going to go to jail for her. So I'm saying, why would she not support? She a woman. That's what women do, protecting other women. Why would she not support releasing the Epstein files? I never talked about it because I felt like it was ridiculous. And not what Epstein did is not ridiculous at all. But I don't feel like nobody is going to go to jail over what he did. Nobody, never. That's what I believe. I believe you might have some censoring, some other things done to some people, some money taken from them, or, but I don't think no other charges are going to be brought for Jeffrey Epstein besides the one that's dead, the dead child molester, Jeffrey himself, and Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think that's MTG's calculus. So she probably feel like, I got to take a stand, bro. Look at the 427-1. President Trump probably felt like it was Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey that helped with the make it clear, okay, for Republicans to vote for the Jeffrey Epstein thing. But I'm saying, President Trump, why are you trying to hide the Epstein files anyway? Because your name in it and it's going to embarrass you. That's going to make the people want to see it more. It's going to make them want to see it more, man. I don't know about this President Trump. I'm going to talk some more about, Mamdani, and we're going to speak some more things, man. But I don't know about this President Trump. I don't know nothing about this. She said loyalty should be a two-way street. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Ghostwriter, if you ever... just know Ghost is the first one to tell you loyalty over everything. Loyalty over everything. Jasmine, baby, listen to me. If you picked up the phone and you called me to run your campaign strategy, I could tell you two things going to happen. Number one, you're going to be one of the next senators in the state of Texas. That's guaranteed. And number two is, I might not love you, but I will always be loyal to you. Always. Loyalty over everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, with Jasmine, of course I love her, her gorgeous self, little fine self. You know I'm going to love her. But I'm saying, even if I was in a situation with Marjorie Taylor Greene and President Trump, and I had to kind of turn my back to him because I wanted to better my political future and political career, and to run for a statewide position in Georgia, pretty much any state, you can't be all the way right with Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes ain't going to win no election in no state. You can't be all the way right where Charlie Kirk was. Them people voted for President Trump because of affordability. They didn't, I'm not going to say he got lucky. I'm saying, listen, who President Trump won an election against? He won an election against Barack Obama. President Trump won an election against Gavin Newsom. President Trump won an election against Josh Shapiro. I'm saying you put a good, young, good-looking Democrat against him like a Mamdani. You think he'll beat Mamdani in the election? He know he won't. That's why he got so much respect for Mamdani. He wouldn't beat Barack Obama. The only reason he beat Joe Biden is because Joe Biden was so old. He didn't beat Hillary Clinton. He beat her, but he didn't beat her. Not with the people. So he beat VP Harris, who had 100 days to run a campaign, but who raised more money than any political candidate in history. That tell you everything you need to know. So I'm saying, who is President Trump beating in an election? Who is he beat? He a good politician, but I'm saying he ain't that good. Like she said, loyalty is a two-way street. Listen, that's one thing. If you was a client, I had a client that I did a case for that me and him start bumping heads, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with being you personally. This case, this justice, Jasmine, you winning that seat in Texas, this don't have nothing to do with us personally. This got something to do with the business of America. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and President Trump should have stayed united just on that fact, the business of America. That's what they're supposed to be about. She said, my true convictions remain unchanged because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God, who created everything in existence. You got this woman talking about self-worth. She compared it to a marriage, a better wife. Yeah. Y'all can make those. Listen, this is a woman. This is a female. How many men in this stream, you don't know how to deal with a woman? I'm not going to talk to my mama the same way I talk to my daddy. My daddy a man. He could deal with that. He halfway don't be paying attention to me when I talk anyway. But my mama, though, them words going to mean a lot to my mama. That's a woman. I might be strong with a woman, but it's going to be different with her than I deal with a man. President Trump, you can't deal with this woman like that. Right, wrong, or indifferent, you know this still a woman, President Trump. I'm not no way, in no fashion, in no form cool with what happened with Marjorie Taylor Greene, my boy. I'm not cool with that, man. I don't like that at all. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. We trying to get some sponsorships going. You know what I'm saying? So before we jump back down into the news, because we only halfway finished, guys, we got at least an hour left of some great content. Guys, I need to get these sponsorships rolling, so I'm going to take this time to tell you guys about 3T's Auto Detailing. Now, guys, I know from time to time you get a flyer on your car and you hear about a young man or an old man with a pressure washer in the van, but that's not 3T's. Tyrone, the CEO of 3T's, is literally certified in what he does. And 3T's don't wash cars, they detail cars, and that's a big difference. You know that if you get your car detailed. With every detail, you getting a hand wash and wax that's custom. I mean, a deep cleaning of your wheels, fenders. There won't be no dirt on the outside of your vehicle. I done seen the man work. I'm talking about he cleaning the inside of the wheels, the parts you can't see. Then next, 3T's does the interior, shampooing the carpets and the seats. Leather treating, I mean, all the newest up-to-date high-tech detailing methods and equipment to have your car in tip-top shape. Guys, I'm talking the full 9 yards. Have you guys ever seen a professional detailer do paint restoration on a car before? I mean, guys, I'm not going to lie. I watched a car too before, but the work that I seen Tyrone do on a car one time before, he literally saved the customer thousands. The customer was about to take the vehicle to an auto paint and body shop over some overspray. Tyrone looks at it. He goes to the van, gets the clay bar and the buffer, and saved the customer thousands of dollars. That's what I mean by a detailer. 3T's. They're going to clean your car, but it's going to be a different kind of clean. They'll spend a minimum of 2 hours on your car whenever you order a standard detail. So if you are in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area and you want them to come to you, they come to you so convenient. Go ahead and call 228-327-8823 and ask for Tyrone. I know you guys want that new car feeling for the holidays, whether you are traveling into or away from the Mississippi Gulf Coast this holiday season. Give your vehicle the care it deserves and call Tyrone with 3T's Auto Detailing. Once again, that's 228-327-8823. So if you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you'll like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Guys, we're going to continue with the content. Let me jump down into it. We talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, her retirement. We're going to get on President Trump meeting with Mamdani too, so that's a good part of the conversation for him, politically, strategically. Okay, so this news story comes from Mediate, and it was published on November the 21st. I know some of these news stories, you might not have heard of them, but they were trying to get the story out because Mamdani came to the White House yesterday. It was probably about 4 p.m. Eastern or so. And then right after that, probably an hour or 2 or 3 later, Marjorie Taylor Greene retired. So it's all fresh, brand new news stories. That's why I'm doing this on a Saturday, okay? So let's jump into it. The resignation of one of the most prominent and diverse figures in the MAGA movement shocked many on Friday as Representative MTG, the legend of MTG, announced she will be leaving office in early 2026. That is so unfortunate. January the 5th of 2026, a legend in Congress is leaving. Imagine, guys, Nancy Pelosi retiring, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, Congress gonna look a lot different, isn't it? The Congresswoman and former MAGA darling posted a video announcing her resignation to supporters, citing her recent break with President Donald Trump as the reason for her departure. I have too much self-respect and dignity, love my family way too much, and do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms. So she's saying Republicans will likely lose the midterms. What I'm saying, bro, if you a Democrat, I'm telling you, if you at AOC, it ain't no love lost. AOC ain't shedding no tears. Jasmine Crockett ain't shedding no tears. Ain't no love lost. But what I'm saying, if I was Jasmine, though, baby, I would sit there. I know you, because you doing your thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? You a big Democrat. But what I'm saying, if I was, and I wasn't a Democrat, and even if I was Jasmine or AOC, I beef with Marjorie Taylor Greene before, right? I'm saying I would still look at that and I would be like, God dang. I'm saying you could be that linked in with the leader of your party and get stepped on just like that because you disagree with a couple of things they did in public. You disagree with it, you're going to get stepped on like that. And in turn, be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. What is she talking about, dumping tens of millions of dollars against her? Y'all, let's go find out real quick. What does Marjorie Taylor Greene mean? Did President Trump spend money against MTG? So basically what it sounds like, okay, so what it sounds like, guys, he hadn't dropped the tens of millions of dollars against her yet. But she probably done heard something behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I know she done heard something behind the scenes that got her thinking that, hey, man, they coming for me. They not just going to come for me. They going to come for me hard. They trying to get rid of me. I mean, man, I don't know what to say, y'all. It's unbelievable to me almost. It really is. Representative Thomas Massey, he a Republican from Kentucky, an ally of Green, throughout the recent fight to release the files related to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, mourned the retirement of his colleague. I'm very sad for our country, but so happy for our friend Marjorie. I'll miss her tremendously. She embodies what a true representative should be, he wrote. Everyone should read her statement. There's more honesty expressed in these 4 pages than most politicians will speak in a lifetime. Rachel Scott, an ABC News senior political correspondent, wrote that she spoke with the president about Greene's resignation. Y'all, this is what President Trump had to say about her retiring. Okay? Y'all ready for this? This is what President Trump got to say about all of this. I think it's great news for the country. It's great. President Trump, after everything she done for you, man, and just she ain't never spoke. I'm listening to her. I don't know if you could hear her, but I could hear her. President Trump, I'm listening to her. I'm seeing what she's saying. She talking all policy. She ain't saying one negative word about you personally. Everything I heard her say was all policy. And you gonna say it's a great day for the country? Candace Owens, if you guys don't know Candace Owens, I mess with Candace a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be watching her. She say communications from Trump administration be like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a traitor for demanding a convicted child rapist have his files released. But we are standing by Mike Huckabee, who met with a literal treasonous Israeli spy, Jonathan Pollard. That's what Candace Owens got to say. You know what I'm saying? Laura Loomer, she says good riddance and goodbye. I hate when women pretend like they are done so you would chase them and beg them to stay. It's such a female behavior. MTG wants Trump to chase her. When someone leaves, open the door for them and change the lock so they can't return. Goodbye. Guys, I do not... Look, this is what I'm going to say. Laura Loomer, if you're going to run for Congress, go run for her seat, Laura. Let's see what you do. Let's see if you can win her seat. Or Laura, if you in Florida, why don't you run for Congress then and you make a difference in America? Because that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to do, right, wrong, or indifferent. She was a major player in the game. I don't think she want President Trump to chase her. Why would she want President Trump to chase her? She just want President Trump to speak against her like that, to try to primary her like that. I'm saying President Trump, I probably would have said some words to her about, I ain't gonna lie, President Trump, I probably would have had a phone call with her. Like, what's going on? You left the camp? You didn't turn against us? I would have had a conversation with her, but I'm saying I wouldn't have reacted or responded the way you reacted and responded. He just kicked her to the curb. Not only kicked her to the curb, but according to her, he finna spend tens of millions of dollars to make sure she don't become a congresswoman for so much. And though she knew that she was gonna win, she knew she wasn't scared. She not bowing out because she's scared she gonna lose it. She just don't want to go through that kind of fight in her district, to go through that fight. And it's not Laura Loomer that she want President Trump to chase her. She really hurt and broke up. President Trump, I would like to be able to disagree with you without you hating me. Because if you gonna hate me for speaking the truth, then we can't never get on that level. Because I'm always forever gonna speak the truth. You can't hate no one for speaking the truth. Listen, I don't hate people for speaking the truth against me. Look at the situation I'm in with my life. I could be in the studio doing this live stream, but I'm not. I'm in this BMW. And when people speak about me doing live streams in a BMW, I'm not going to hate them just for saying something that I don't like that might be true. They might not have all the facts or know the ins and outs of the situation. That's something totally different. But I have enough bearings, enough understanding, enough wisdom to know that they don't know everything they talking about. They just talking. And I'm saying, President Trump, maybe you should say MTG don't know everything she talking about. She just talking. I'm not going to call her no more. She can't come to the family barbecues and cookouts no more. But I'm not going to spend $10 million and run the girl out of her party because of what she did to me. What she did for me. I'm saying, look, this is how I look at this. If you got to disagree, say President Trump, he disagreed with, I don't want to say Laura Loomer because that's like Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of. Say President Trump, he have a disagreement with. I don't want to say Tulsi Gabbard too because most of the females in MAGA, they roll with him. Say he got a disagreement with, I'm trying to think of a female in the AOC. Say President Trump disagree with AOC. I'm saying what difference between AOC and, can y'all feel that? Some of y'all probably getting it. I don't even have to spell it out. I'm saying he disagreed. Say he got a disagreement with AOC and with Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I'm saying, okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she spent millions to help me. She put her neck out there. She'll ride for me. AOC, she ain't never done none of that. She ain't even in my party. Y'all see the difference, right? What I'm saying, that's what loyalty is. It's like this. Once you done donated millions of dollars to my campaign and stuck your neck out there for me, I never primary you. That's what loyalty is. I don't care if you do a complete 720, forget a 360, say you do a complete 720 and you don't mess with me, you don't support me, you ain't got nothing to do with me no more. All you doing is bad mouthing me. I'm saying I'll never primary you. Because most or part of the reason why I'm sitting where I'm at right now is because of you. You got to understand that, President Trump, you got to be able to see this, big baby. Ghost going to help you see this. Most of the reason you sitting in your spot is because of Elon and Charlie Kirk and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm saying you taking all of the, how you going to stand? How you going to still be standing? The way you got there, the people who got you there, they all finna be gone. I'm saying JD Vance, he helped you out, but I'm saying JD, what benefit? He didn't help you win no election. If you had a different vice president, you still would have won that election. Maybe by more points. Not hating on JD, just being real. Marco Rubio, he good job in there. Marco didn't help you win that position, President Trump. America didn't even know who your cabinet was going to be. And they still voted for you. But I'm saying MTG helped you win that, man. She helped you win it. It's an ugly thing, President Trump. It really is. I don't think it's a good look for you. That's what I said earlier. This is unspoken cool points that you lost. Because the people, they never probably going to have a poll question. What do you think about President Trump and how he treated Marjorie Taylor Greene? They never going to put that on no ballot. But I'm saying these are we people, and we observing this. And how I saw you do her, bro, I know I could, bro. I'd be scared to death. Who? That's why ain't nobody, they can't say nothing around you. They can't say nothing negative around you because you're going to get mad. They can't speak the truth because if you do, you're going to try to primary them and kick them out the party. Guys, if y'all hadn't liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, we've been streaming for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? We work for donations around here. I hadn't seen no one donate yet. But so if you guys want to donate, if you want to start a conversation, have your comment read, you know what I'm saying? I'll stop everything I'm doing right now. We could talk about what you want to talk about. Super chat, super thanks, and super stickers, they all start at 99 cents. Just hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Guys, listen. Although it was a win, in my opinion, to see President Trump get along and praise Mamdani, seeing one of your top supporters ran from the party like that on the same day is alarming. What you guys think about that? I don't think no one will say anything about what I'm finna say right now. But think about the timing. It's like every time President Trump tries to do something or make a move or A, B, C, or D, every time that happens, it seems like he get knocked backwards or something else comes up. Y'all noticing that? So President Trump, the government opens back up. You know, he gonna get some kind of praise for it. Even if he don't get a whole lot of praise, he'll get some kind of praise. The government opened back up. The day the government opened back up, we weren't talking about the government opening. It's like a lot of people didn't even know the government opened. You know why? What we were talking about? Jeffrey Epstein. And so what I'm finna do, I'm finna read a couple of you guys' comments, and I'm gonna give you the news story about Mamdani. I'm gonna paint that picture for you, that bipartisanship and that unity. But the reason why he ain't gonna really get no praise from Mamdani is because of Marjorie Taylor Greene. People are floored. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you gotta be able to make that work, President Trump. You gotta be able to bring that together some kind of way. Like you beefing with Elon, and I still see Elon sitting at those dinners, like, but that's great. Because I'm saying he's instrumental in you getting to where you at. If I became president and I got rest in peace to Charlie. Charlie, I mean, that happened the way it happened. But I'm saying these are three pieces that I would say three of the main three or up to five at the most. These three pieces, Charlie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Elon. Those are three of the five reasons at the most. If not three of the three, but three of the five reasons President Trump is president. And one of them, rest in peace. But the other two, though, they ain't get assassinated. And I'm saying, Elon, you got Elon on the outskirts of the party now. And he probably the biggest asset to the Republican Party right now. And you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. You just going to run her out the party because she don't all the way agree with you. So I'm saying as the normal political observer, that's what we observing yesterday. That's what we observed. We should have observed what I'm finna tell y'all about. President Trump embracing Mamdani, seeing a little bit of unity between the Democrats and the Republicans. That's what we should have observed. But instead, what we observed was Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving the party like hurt, broken. Someone who spent millions to help you get elected. Someone who put her own freedom on the line to stand with you during January 6th, man. That's what we see yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you about Mamdani. Titan Bruce says Trump is president due to ignorance and selfishness. He says we no longer live with slave states. There's no need for the Electoral College. Let's see. Rizza says... Rizza, I was trying to get one of your comments. Joseph says, I think you're going to be without a job when he becomes a lame duck. Why you say that? Why you say that, Joseph? Why you say that? Listen, my thing is the business of America. So when he become a lame duck, America not gonna have no business? I never said I was MAGA. I never said I was a Republican. I'm saying I wouldn't really want to say I was MAGA or Republican. Look what's happening to him. It seemed like the only one that's safe are the crazy ones like Nick Fuentes that's way over there to the right. I'm saying they getting that Vivek. Y'all, how many of y'all heard they were talking about Vivek here, Indian? They were hating on Vivek. This MAGA. They hate on women. They hate on black people. They hate on everybody. So you know I ain't MAGA. So I'm saying if he does become a lame duck president, what's up with the business of America? How does America still handle its business? America's still going to have to do the business and the work, right? So as long as America got business or work, Ghost ain't going to be out of a job. Because I'm saying you looking at it like President Trump is the president. I'm just smart enough to realize that I ain't got nothing against him. It's just a lot of moves that he make, man. Them moves you making, President T, them ain't the right moves. You going against your own kind. That's like going against your own blood, man. Politically, what he did to Marjorie Taylor Greene, he might as well did that to Ivanka. Listen to Ghost. What he did to Marjorie Taylor Greene, a lot of people going to say was wrong or not right, but they not really going to too much care. That's politics. She know the nature of the business. She done stepped on people before too. Y'all know all the stuff they going to say. But what I'm saying for a political head like me, a lot of pundits on CNN, that I be messing with, I know they gonna look at that, and you look at that, and what that looks like, you might as well done that to Ivanka. That's your own kind. That's your own kindred, your own blood. I'm talking about MAGA blood in, blood out, MAGA in, MAGA out. And you do that to your own kind. So this ain't no thing. With Ghost, this ain't no thing about no President Trump. This is the thing about America, the business of America. He's just the president. I don't never want to be in a position with a person where they expecting me to do something I'm not. Because if I ever work for President Trump, I'm going to tell you the truth. That's what ghosts do. I don't care who you are. I'm going to speak truth to that power. Straight truth. I don't care what it look like, what it sound like. That's how you ain't never gonna win, President Trump. Because I'm gonna come tell you the truth. And excuse me, you never gonna lose. Thank y'all for them donations. We starting already ×3. Can we get ×4 with the gifts, man? Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby, for the donation. Thank you so much. If y'all want to donate to the channel, hit that button with the $sign in, and your donations are truly appreciated. Listen, President T, I'm never going to give you no false expectations. Maybe you could say Marjorie gave him false expectations. I don't see how. But I'm saying it probably blindsided him to see her speak the truth because she has so long. If that's only one error, one mistake she could make. If AOC and Jasmine, if they spoke to this Marjorie for so long, you had went down that path with him, right, wrong, or indifferent. Look, Marjorie, this is what I'm saying. President Trump, in some situations you done got into, you know what I'm saying? You know what happened? President Trump, he's sitting over there. Maybe on January 6th, maybe during one of the impeachments. He's sitting over there and he like, man, who gonna stand with me? January 6th, ain't nobody was standing with him. Y'all remember that? Right after January 6th, we thought that was the end for him. It's just he was so strong with the people. He's so strong with the people, he came back. But as far as politics in D.C., after January the 6th, I'm talking about immediately after January 6th, guys, we thought it was over with for Donald Trump. That's what we thought. How many of y'all thought that? We thought it was over with for him. It wasn't. So I'm saying in January 6th, we looking at January 7th when everybody's speaking against him, even the Republicans. Remember at that time, I think, who was the leader in the Senate? Was it, what's the guy's name from Kentucky who was there for a little while, for a long time? He was the lead, Mitch McConnell. He was the leader of the Senate. I don't think Mike Johnson was there yet. I forgot who. It was Nancy Pelosi for the Democrats. Okay? So January 6th come, Mitch McConnell, the Senate, everybody speaking against him. This is what President Trump doing. I'm trying to tell y'all. Ghost humanizes these situations. Hey, y'all, this is what President Trump doing after January 6th, y'all. This is what he doing. Oh man, okay. Who gonna stand with me? Who gonna stand with me? When President Trump turned around January 7th and he looked behind him to see who was gonna stand with him, I could guarantee you if it's not the first name he called, the first 2 or 3 names he called was MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. He know Marjorie standing with him. I know Marjorie gonna stand with me. She done stood with me the whole time. The whole time she stood with me. I know Marjorie there. I know Marjorie back there. So maybe President Trump, because she stood with him in situations that he didn't even think she would stood with him, stand with him. What Marjorie, she's standing with me, man. It probably surprised him in the situations, her loyalty, how she stood with him. So he thinking she gonna forever be mine. He's singing that Gunner song. She gonna forever be mine. She ain't one of a kind. She don't see none of the guys. She don't want none of you guys. She gonna forever be mine. No, she ain't. Marjorie Taylor Greene said she wanted to run for Senate. President Trump, when she came to you and told you she wanted to run for Senate, you know what you should have said? Win, lose, or draw. Let's do it. I got you. What I care for? I'm an 83-year-old man. Or next year, I'm an 80-year-old man. 80 years old. You hanging on to life, my boy. You grabbing on to life. You having to grab on to life. You not just an 80-year-old. I don't even have to talk about it. You know, I know you grabbing on to life, my boy. You trying not to leave here. And you an 80-year-old. The best part of your years, the most part of your years, almost all of your years have came and gone. And so you wanted to be president. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Do it till you kick the dust. You know what I'm saying? Some people wanted to serve. I'm not hating on you want to serve, but what I'm trying to say is I would consider all these things when she came and said she wanted to run for Senate. If I was a 45-year-old Barack Obama, and I knew I still had to get money and do all this other stuff, Barack Obama got 30, 40 more years on the edge of politics. That's where American president will forever sit on the edge of politics. Obama got a good 40 years on the edge, influencing American politics. Bill Clinton done it for the last 30 years. So I'm saying President Trump, he's seeing himself after 2029 on the edge influencing American politics. Bro, you 83 years old. This is a young 50-something-year-old Republican who would do anything for you. Okay, she starts stepping to the left. If anybody I ever think would never step to the left, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's stepping to the left. Why she stepping to the left? Because she first came to you and said she wanted to run for Senate, and you foo-fooed her. I know what she thinking. I ain't even got to be there. That's what I'm saying. Common sense ain't that common. I'm like, if I'm President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene coming to me and she's saying she want to run for Senate, and if I say no, I'm going to think about this. Ghost got a mind that's going to think about this. She going to think about, man, how much money did I donate to this man? The millions I gave to him. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene thinking about, the millions, the sacrifice. Sometimes her husband or some of them kids might be saying, hey, mama, or hey, honey, you gonna defend him in that? You defending him in that? And she like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ride with him. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she loyalty. She riding with him. So I'm saying President Trump, when she coming to you saying she want to run for Senate or governor, she know you gonna say, yeah. It don't matter what the numbers say. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene, baby. Come on, get in the car. Baby, get in the back seat. It don't matter what the numbers say. That's how Ghost is. You see what I'm saying? Jasmine, if you going to hire your boy to run your campaign for Senate, baby, I'm going to be loyal. I don't care if we don't even speak to nobody anymore, ever. I'm going to represent you still. Just how Steve Bannon is with President Trump, still I will represent you because it's what you believe in, it's what you're talking about, and it's what you believe in. And I'm gonna let you know, Jasmine, this is what I believe in. And if I see you fighting for what is right and what you believe in, then all the rest of this stuff don't matter. Let's just say if I was a lucky man and Jasmine was a single woman and I was lucky, you know I'm attracted to her. You know what I'm saying? And say I was lucky and I got lucky. I'm saying even when the luck ran out and she like, no, Ghost, I don't want you like that no more. Even when the luck ran out, what she standing on, I'ma stand with her. This ain't got nothing to do. I'm talking about the stuff I'm talking about could see through love in a relationship. It's hard for you to get romantically involved with someone and still be loyal and stay intent. What I'm trying to say is that this politics stuff about the stuff we talking about, it should be able to pass go through a marriage or a divorce. Because what I'm saying is, say I'm married to, I don't want to say no girl name. I don't want to say no girl name because y'all gonna think the wrong thing. Let me just think of a girl's name. I'll say Zara. Like, I don't care. I'll just use that name because that's my homegirl. I don't care how she feel. I'll tell it to her face. I'm going to marry you tomorrow, Zara. Listen, so say I'm married to Zara, right? And say we both into politics. And Z got a feeling like, so Z, she feels a certain way about, and I do too. And say me and Zara, we have a divorce. And I'm running her political campaign. If I divorce her and I'm a Democrat, we married, we both Democrats, and I divorce her tomorrow, I'm going to be a Republican? No, I'm not. Because I still believe the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Politics is different. If I'm married to her and say I like Haagen-Dazs, and I know she like Haagen-Dazs, and I don't want to bump into her and I keep seeing her at Haagen-Dazs, I might go to Bluebell. You feel me? That's how Ghost is. If I don't want nothing to do with you, I'm through with you. I'm going to go to Bluebell. I'm going to eat at Bluebell. Straight up. Dead serious. On everything I love, I'm going to eat Bluebell. That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just go eat Bluebell. What I'm saying, politics is different than that. This ain't no situation because we bump heads that we could go our separate ways. So if Marjorie Taylor Greene and President Trump, they going their separate ways. So what happens? Marjorie Taylor Greene's a Democrat now. Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene thought what happened to what's that? Dick Cheney's daughter. Maybe she thought what happened to Dick Cheney's daughter was gonna happen to her. Liz Cheney. Because I'm saying Liz Cheney's still a Republican. She just don't agree with President Trump. She went and got down with Kamala, but she's still a Republican. She's still against abortion. She's still against gay rights or gays getting married. She's still against transgender. She a Republican. That's my point. So what I'm saying, President Trump, I will always remember and consider this stuff. Me being an 80-year-old politician and that woman wanting to run for Senate, I don't care. I would have put my neck out there for her. That's what loyalty is. She stuck her neck out there for you. She expects you to stick your neck out there for her. But that's not what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Robert said, good morning, Crazy Ghost. You right. I appreciate it, man. If y'all had liked the video, y'all go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. This right here, this story is published by Reuters, of course. It was published like the rest of them yesterday, November 21st. So after months of trading insults, U.S. President Donald Trump and incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani, hey, I got to dance for Zoran. Hey, I ain't never met Zoran before, but I know he'll be my homie, boy. And you look at the stage, Chris Como, I ain't hating on you. Eric Allen, you the sitting mayor, so you must have did something right. You won. And who the other one? Silva, Curtis. We like Curtis Silva. But if I look at the stage though, and who on the stage, and I see Zoran, Bro, tell me, Zoran, 34 years old, okay? Y'all probably ain't gonna hear this from nobody else but Ghost. Listen to me. Ghost finna tell you. Zoran, 34 years old, listen to this. Have you ever heard Zoran say any kind of words whatsoever that wasn't right? And look, put a microphone in Zoran's face right now and ask him the hardest question that you want to ask him in the world. I don't care what the politics is. Ask Zoran the hardest question in the world right now. Put a microphone in his face and watch. Everything come out his mouth gonna be the right words. I don't care. If you listen. Let's just say you a Republican, you Nick Fuentes, and you ain't being stupid. I think Nick Fuentes is the most despicable of all. Not just Republicans, humans. I think he's an enigma. Yeah, that's the word, the right word. Like, I don't understand people like that. Real talk. And I think he's the reason why the world stays divided. People like that who are grounded in hatred. So look, so say you Nick Fuentes, right? I'm saying if you go ask Zoran a question, whatever you ask him, Zoran gonna say the right thing. You might not agree with what he's saying. He might be saying freeze the rent. He might be saying give everything away to everybody for free. You don't agree with what he's saying, but he's going to say the right things. Any question you ask, I'm telling you, Zoran, that dude, boy, Mamdani. And President Trump was trying to compliment Bernie Sanders, yeah, because Bernie Sanders finna come for y'all neck. Yeah, they did do Bernie Sanders wrong. The Democratic Party did do him wrong, and he taking care of business. And President Trump, you should be afraid too. Y'all Republicans, not you personally, because you ain't got to run for office no more, but y'all Republicans, all y'all Republicans need to be scared. And Democrats. Yeah, the Republicans and the Democrats need to be scared. Big Bernie coming. Listen, ain't nobody got to tell. No, listen, Steve Bannon, his populist message, but a lot of stuff, Steve, if you close your eyes and you didn't know how Steve Bannon's voice talk, how he sound, and you heard him say a lot of stuff about how he feel about the major 5 issues in America, you would think that he was working with Bernie in a lot of ways. You just got to ask the right question to see that he a Republican. But the populist message is still the same. What I'm trying to tell you is that what Bernie Sanders is on is the future of the world. Tax the rich, that's the future of the world. Bernie Sanders, it's his moment. If you a Republican, you need to be scared because he got a candidate coming that looks like Zoran. If you a Democrat and you Nancy Pelosi, you need to be scared because she retired. Yeah, because Big Bernie and them got something to say, boy. Y'all think it's funny. Y'all think Ghost don't know what he talking about. CNN ain't going to tell you this. CNN don't report stuff like that's not their job. They just doing regular news. Fox News ain't going to tell you. MSNBC ain't going to tell you. But Big Ghost, if y'all rock with Big Ghost, y'all going to be in the know. Bernie Sanders coming through. That's why you hear you seen President Trump, what he did to Zoran yesterday. He frisk kissing Zoran, talking good about Bernie. Why you think? Because he know. They've been listening to Ghost. President Trump and them, somebody in his cabinet or somebody in his family, they be listening to Ghost. I promise you, on the regular, in the stream right now, whoever you are, I salute you. If you was Ivanka, I'll kiss you on your cheek, right? I swear on my life, I'll kiss you on the cheek right now. I could rock with Ivanka, bro. And I like Jared. Real talk. He a cool dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably somebody I'll mess with if I was, you know what I'm saying? Jared, him and Don Jr. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, though, if you Ivanka, though, I could rock with you, baby. Real talk. But somebody in President Trump, because I'm telling you, because he know what's going on. Listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene represents MAGA, right? She did. She was MAGA. everything President Trump ran the election on and stood on. But the reason, you see how much space, listen, how Ghost be telling y'all stuff. You see how much space in between MTG and President Trump right now? Think about that. You know how when you run for a political office, I'm Kamala Harris right now, okay? And I'm running for a political office against President Trump. And I'm standing next to Joe Biden. I ain't hating on big President Biden. You heard me? I'm standing next to Joe Biden. I like Joe Biden. I always say, I don't care what nobody say, the lowest economic numbers in U.S. history. Big Ghost gonna speak on that. But I'm standing right here, the lowest unemployment numbers to President Trump. Your unemployment 4.4%. Which isn't bad for a normal president, but Joe Biden's was 4.1, and that's the lowest ever for any president. So listen, and President Trump, I seen y'all added 100,000 jobs. You know what I'm saying? You had 2 months of negative growth since you've been president, but you added 100,000 in September. I salute you for that. You know what I'm saying? I was really thinking America was like in the middle of a recession, but you know what I'm saying? He fighting through it and doing whatever he doing, so I salute you for that. But say if you was coming and you was standing right next to Joe Biden and you running against President Trump, I'm saying how much distance did we see between Kamala and President Biden? None. There wasn't no distance between them. I'm saying where Marjorie Taylor Greene, she MAGA, her and President Trump was like this pre-election. You want me to play the videos for you? They was like this pre-election. 10 months later, she's still MAGA. This how far President Trump then moved from MAGA. 10 months later, 11 months later. January the 10th of 2025, Marjorie Taylor Greene and President Trump like this. Ghost, right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? 11 months later, they all the way apart. They not President Trump, then all the way divorced MAGA. You know why? Because he see that future. He's very political savvy. President Trump kind of like Ghost. Hey, Ghost ain't gonna run for no political position, but I could see things like that. And if President Trump, if he around enough people like me, which he is, he got access to almost anybody in America. He listening, and if he listen to people like Ghost, he see what's going on, boy. Oh yeah. Bernie Sanders behind the scenes, boy, that boy done took over. Bernie Sanders got the heart of the people. You don't believe me? Let JD Vance, you pick your biggest Republican outside of President Trump. Because everybody's saying JD because JD looked good in the polls, but I'm saying, what about Don Jr.? The polls are way too early. And they going off of these numbers because they don't have no confidence to win elections, because President Trump, she could have won the Senate or the governor if you fight for her or with her, but you chose not to. So let's say this, right, though? So they looking at the numbers, they look at JD's numbers, they looking at numbers, even though I think Don Jr., but you looking at JD's numbers and you saying JD, and who gonna run against JD? But I'm saying, what JD running on? Where MAGA at? I'm saying MAGA even gonna be there anymore? President Trump looked at that election. He seen that election and he said, man, Ghost, I see what you're talking about. Because President Trump, if you don't see it yet, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna get none but worse. And you seen what the person said in the stream down below. They trying to make you a lame duck president. That's the Democrats' goal. That means after 2026, President Trump just gonna be a figure in the White House. Ain't gonna have no power, ain't nothing gonna be happening for 2 years. They just gonna be steady taking shots at you. And that's facts, man. How far has MAGA? Y'all don't see it? You say, Ghost, you got to finish the sentence. I want you to think. I'm trying to get you to think. I think MAGA has been destroyed, man. I think MAGA don't exist no more. I think MAGA is only a semblance of what it used to be. I did a stream. Did MAGA die when Charlie Kirks died? Did MAGA die? And now we seeing MTG leaving? MAGA ain't what MAGA used to be no more. You hear people saying MAGA, what is MAGA now? Make America Great Again. What does it stand for? Oh, it never really stood for nothing. Yes, it did. I heard a pundit on, I think, I'm not going to say the news channel. They said MAGA, President Trump ain't really have no, what he said? He said he didn't really have ideals. Or he didn't really have, what's the word they be using? Yes, he did. Don't be involved in foreign wars. What you think that is? President Trump got plenty, MAGA had plenty of policy that they believed in. He went around spewing it. That immigration, that's a MAGA policy. All that he doing, that's MAGA policies. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she didn't forget the policies. It's just President Trump, he moved a far distance from MAGA. He ain't President Trump, you really ain't MAGA no more. That's what y'all get from Ghost. You're going to get a whole bunch of truth, man. President Trump, you're not really MAGA no more. Look, I don't have no problems with that. President Trump, if Ghost was with you, it wouldn't be that you ain't MAGA no more. It's just that MAGA get reformed and reshaped for the future. I'll repackage MAGA and put MAGA in a different boat. Nick Fuentes, he's gone. I'm getting rid of any kind of trash like that, spewing any kind of divisive trash. I'm going to get rid of him. JD Vance, you need to run him straight out the party. Keep doing what you're doing. If he get you, he going to steal. Listen, JD, listen. Nick Fuentes, he ain't never going to tell somebody to vote for a Democrat. So you ain't got, he ain't never going to do that. Never. He hates black people and women too much. He's too much of a bigot to tell somebody to vote for Democrats. So what I'm saying, JD, is you need to run that boy from the party. He ain't going to take nobody with him that's going to vote for, that wouldn't vote for a Republican. Not him. You might have to worry about a moderate. You more worried about Marjorie Taylor Greene taking people from the party than Nick Fuentes. I don't care how many followers he got. They all on the fringes. I will leave them people on the fringes. Real talk, JD, you might not even want them people to come vote. They so crazy. Straight up, all them political violence, black people, all them white women, they hating on women and blacks and all that stuff. You need to leave them people over there on the fringes. Kick them out the Republican Party. That's what's killing y'all party. But that's what I'm saying, though. I would just help remake or reshape or reform or re-promote MAGA. But I'm saying President Trump then moved all the way away from it. That's why he left Marjorie Taylor Greene there. Laura Loomer, if you was in a political position and you was still on MAGA, because Laura Loomer, I heard you had a problem. Y'all remember the Syrian president? He was playing basketball with the troops, Laura Loomer. Didn't you have a problem with that? The Americans were training with what Arab nation? They got a problem with bin Salman, Mohammed bin. They got a problem. Yeah, the Saudi king. Yeah, I'm with the Saudi. I like the Saudi king. I don't care what y'all say about him. You say he had that man murdered. He might have. He might have. Go to Saudi Arabia. That's still the customs that they have over there. How many people Putin had murdered? Y'all don't never talk about Putin like that when Putin come in the White House. And you know Putin a murderer. I ain't never heard them talk like that about Putin in the White House. I'm talking all y'all. What's that reporter for ABC now? You ain't say that about Putin. If Putin was standing up there in the White House, you wouldn't ask, hey, Vladimir, what about them 22 journalists you didn't had killed since you've been president? You didn't ask Putin about that. But when the Saudi king come over there, then you want to stun on him. I'm saying, like what leaders do y'all got? Y'all see the leaders that they choose in the world. I'm not saying that Ben Somali. I don't never pronounce his name right. I just call him MBS. Look, I'm not saying that the king, the crown prince, he ain't make he did do that. What happened? What happened happened. What happened happened. What happened happened. If the CIA said that he did it, then he probably did. I ain't saying that they don't be lying, but when they come out publicly like that, then yeah, you probably did it. If the CIA said you did it, it ain't about Trey. Yeah, you probably did it. But I'm saying, how long ago that happened? You gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. Unless y'all could bring forward evidence, y'all got hard evidence. The CIA kind of got evidence, but I'm saying y'all reporters, you got a hard evidence, and then if you did, how you gonna convict him? That boy a king. In Saudi Arabia, ain't nobody could do nothing to him. He could have your head chopped off. If you go to Saudi Arabia and say that to him, what you just said, go to Saudi Arabia and say that, he could get your head chopped off. That boy a king. You know what I'm saying? All the money he putting into America. He young, bro. So the CIA, they know stuff about him that he doing behind the scenes. Ghost, yeah, Ghost do too. Yeah, Ghost do too. NBS, I ain't trying to put your business out but we been knowing y'all about the cocaine and the strippers. We been knowing about that. Who you trying to say the American intelligence telling Ghosts about? Oh, they over there with strippers in the desert. What Putin got? That's what I'm saying. Putin didn't do everything that you saying NBS and them doing, Putin doing it too, or worse. But it's okay for Putin to do it, but you got a problem with NBS. NBS ain't trying to start no wars with Kuwait or Qatar. He ain't picking on his neighbors, but Putin is. So MBS is in his country and he a king. And you say he's snorting cocaine and messing with prostitutes and he has somebody. So that's his country. He the king of his country. He ain't no Gaddafi. We know that. We know that. He ain't no Gaddafi. He ain't nobody like that. Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, we rhyme with the king, baby. Yeah, MBS, bro. We mess with MBS big time. How many people in this stream right now? Y'all know the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Y'all know who I'm talking about, MBS. We got mad respect for MBS, boy. Mad respect. We ride with MBS. Yeah. That's what that is, guys. But let me keep going, though. Like, I'm not, listen, one thing I can say about President Trump, I do see about President Trump is fond of some Muslim leaders now. He fond of the Muslims. There's Muslims that he's fond of. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, real talk. I like some Muslims too. I like a bunch of Muslims, to tell you the truth. I know a bunch of Muslims. And they ain't no different than a Christian. They just don't believe in Jesus. But in my mind, a Democrat believe two men could get married. You know how weird? That's about as weird as the Muslim religion to me. That's weirder. For real. For me, come on now, Jasmine. I'm picking on you, Jasmine, but babe, I know you know. Come on, Jasmine. I couldn't see you with another woman, married to another woman, Jasmine. That'll break my heart. Hey, y'all can see Jasmine Crockett. Y'all see Ghost. If Ghost seen Jasmine Crockett married to another woman, that'll break my heart. I'd be like, you giving all that to a woman? What? Nah, baby, you can't do that. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like how I look at that weird, like with a Muslim like that. Yeah, they religion, they kind of weird. But I'm saying if it's two men getting married is weird too. Letting your 5-year-old change his sex from a boy to a girl, a 5-year-old, letting your 5-year-old change his sex from a boy to a girl is weird too. So all y'all got people with the Muslims. I might say some Democrats. There's some problems with some Democrats. I got some problems with some Republicans too. You giving a rich man a tax break and you taking money from poor people, that's more than weird. That's evil. You giving a rich man a tax break and taking money from poor people. That is evil. You cold-hearted. So I got problems with Republicans too. It ain't just the Muslims. It's anybody. That's how ghosts feel. That's why I could get along with any human. Because I recognize that humans have differences. Some people can't recognize that. Nick Fuentes, he can't recognize that. That's why when he see a black man, he got an image or something in his mind. He thinking of a black man because he hadn't reached the level of intelligence to understand that humans can be different. Humans can be different. Humans are different. All humans are different. Even the two white boys are different. So the black people different, the women are different than men. They don't embrace the differences in humans. That's what's wrong with them. But I embrace the human differences in humans. That's why I could get along with anybody. Y'all remember when we was in high school, y'all, I'm gonna get back to the news story. We talking about Mamdani going to the White House. Y'all remember we was in high school, we had the ones who wore the trench coats. Like the trench coat mafia. Y'all remember the trench coat mafia? You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody hung out with them. They wore all black trench coats. They wore them boots, them military looking boots and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Columbine, high school. Y'all remember Columbine? Like, yeah, trench coat mafia. Bruh, ghosts would be hanging with them. Cause when I look at one of them and you think one of them is weird, yeah, they are different than me. But then I look at my homeboy that's sitting right beside me, and he different than me too. A black man who grew up in the same place I grew up in. He do some stuff I think is weird too. I do some stuff that I think is weird. You do some stuff that I think is weird. Everybody does. You got to learn how to separate differences. Guys, let's finish the news story so I could jump down in the comments with y'all. So once again, this was Reuters. It was published yesterday. After months of trading insults, U.S. President Donald Trump and incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani smiled at each other, swapped compliments, and pledged to collaborate on tackling crime and affordabilities in the nation's biggest city at an unexpectedly friendly meeting at the White House on Friday. Look, Zoran might need you, President Trump, for to not cut money off to New York City. It's reasons why he, you know what I'm saying, and you know about leverage President Trump, but I'm going to tell you this, though. Because I'm saying they can make it bad for you. It ain't just about you being impeached or the Democrats taking over, because they going to try to take over, and if they take over, they're going to impeach you. That's facts, bottom line. If the Democrats take over, they're going to impeach you. Tom Homan getting investigated. He probably going to go to jail. That's immediately. Democrats take over immediately. That's happening immediately. President Trump, immediately you will be impeached. Immediately you will be impeached. Immediately Tom Homan's going under investigation. Immediately. There's going to be so much. They're going to be over your head nonstop. I told you how to avoid it, but you didn't want to avoid it. You fighting with the people who gonna protect you. You fighting with Marjorie Taylor Greene. You can have Zoran at the White House. That ain't gonna change nothing. You should have called Hakeem when I told you to call Hakeem. Because I'm saying Big Bernie, yeah, Bernie, look, what Bernie Sanders and AOC and them doing, that's gonna come in some time. So you do need to be cool with Zoran and AOC and Bernie, but that's coming in time. Bernie ain't got all that power yet. He getting there. He getting it. He got to win some elections. But what I'm saying is President Trump, you calling Hakeem got the power today, right now. Hakeem got the power right now. If I was a Republican, I'd be cool. The Republicans, I'd be like Marjorie Taylor. They wouldn't even really, I'd be cool with the other side. I'm cool with my people. I'm good with the Republicans, so I'm going to get cool with the other side. That's how you get stuff done. The political opposites, a Republican billionaire and a young Democratic socialist, have clashed over everything from immigration to economic policy, but it was clear the two forged a rapport in their first encounter. Mamdani, A 34-year-old state lawmaker stood by Trump's desk. The 79-year-old president smiled at him and patted him warmly on the arm, having only recently falsely circulated Mamdani as an anti-Semitic communist, among other jobs. Man, I'm saying they see that though, President Trump. They heard what you were saying about him, and they seen when he came there how you treated him. And a lot of people in MAGA, they gonna give you heck about that. And I know you don't care about what they saying. Obviously you don't. And if I was you, I wouldn't either. That's the bottom line, President Trump. If I was you, I wouldn't care about what MAGA's saying either. And I gotta commend you, you know what I'm saying, for looking past your party and looking past MAGA and recognizing that young man is saying the things he's supposed to say. His actions is finna be judged right now, shortly. But when they ask him, everything he says, he's talking about making life better for New Yorkers. Listen to Mamdani. Listen to him. You know how they be giving them talking points and they run in circles? Well, the circle he's going to run into, that circle he going to run back to is going to be affordability. Everything you ask him at the end of it, and I want to make life more affordable for New Yorkers. I'm telling you, he the best candidate you could put on a ticket. Bernie and them got a bunch of hymns. That's why Nancy Pelosi retired. She see what's coming. Ain't nobody talking about it. I was going to do a stream next week about it on Chasing Sunsets and Chasing Peace next Thursday. But I changed it to immigration. But ain't nobody talking about it. Bernie and them, they ran Nancy Pelosi out the party. President Trump know what that means. He know how powerful she is. She more powerful than him. He been president for 5 years. She been in the Congress for 45 years. She more connected to him. And Bernie Sanders and them ran Nancy Pelosi out the party. You saw what happened with Joe Biden, where you had to wait to an election before they finally nudged him out, and then Kamala stepped in there. Y'all saw how that happened? Nancy Pelosi, she ain't even get a chance to run for election again. Bernie and them told her, you gotta go. What? Nancy Pelosi, yeah, we got a young, dark-skinned, I think he was an Indian millionaire, and he gonna run against you in your district. He gonna primary you. Nancy Pelosi. Chuck Schumer, you gonna have to get on down, my boy. You gotta go. AOC, you gonna run for Senate, baby, ain't you? Come on, AOC, you gotta run for Senate, girl. You have to. You gotta do that for us. You gotta do that for us, AOC, baby. You gotta do that for us. Come on. How y'all females letting these dudes talk you out of position? Marjorie Taylor Greene, you need to run for Senate too. Call Ghost. I don't care who they got. You could raise the money. You the star. I got the brain for us to win. I got the strategy and the brain. We gonna win. Marjorie Taylor Greene, call Ghost. Why you ain't gonna run for Senate? We would rather see you in Senate than the dude that's in there. I don't see why President Trump wouldn't say that either. He was rocking with you. Jasmine, you already know what time it is, girl. Real talk. You got people on your team, Jasmine. You need to throw me on your team, sweetheart. I promise you. Because you running for Senate. She want to run for Senate. But I'm saying, Jasmine, like, within a few years, you ready to run for governor of Texas. If that's the way you want to run, within a few years, baby, you ready to run for governor. You right there. All you got to do is just pivot a little bit. That's it. The whole fight Jasmine got, listen, I wouldn't change your fight because that's what got you famous. I heard, look, I ain't been commenting on this, but I heard what Steve Smith or whatever dude name is, he said about Jasmine when they kind of was, man, I ain't trying to be funny. Because he a cool dude. On ESPN, he is. Who don't watch him? Everybody watch him. I just don't be remembering people's names. I ain't trying to be funny. But he was trying to bump heads with Jasmine, and I seen that. I didn't really get into it, but what I was saying, because some of the stuff he's saying, right, what he's saying is Jasmine, a lot of stuff she talk about is President Trump. But that's how she got famous, bro. That's how she rose to be like top 5. Jasmine is like one of the top 10 Democrats in Congress. top 5, top 10 Democrats in all of Congress. I'm talking about the House and the Senate. She top 5, top 10 Democrats in all of Congress. She did that on her own, less than 2 years. You know how she did that? By being strong against President Trump. When you run that election, all you got to do is pivot just a little bit. When she coming on TV, see what Mamdani did, he did the whole 360. So what he do, I ain't trying to tell y'all this stuff. This my strategies, bro. Because I ain't never told nobody how to run I'm telling you, I beat the draws off you. If I had a candidate like Jasmine, I don't care if she was running for president, I whoop the draws off you, bro. I don't lose. Look, what Mamdani doing, it's three messages you need to have. Every candidate needs 3 messages. I don't want to tell y'all this. I don't want to tell y'all this. Hey, Jasmine, call me, baby. Call me. Every candidate needs 3 messages. Because you having 3 conversations. But the voters seeing all 3 conversations. You having a message directly to the voter. You talking directly to the voters. You don't understand that? When you doing a campaign rally, you're not talking to the voters. You're not talking to a voter. You are talking to the vote. It ain't nothing but potential voters in there. But you're not talking to the voters in the campaign rally. People don't understand that. So the message you have at a campaign rally and the message you have with a voter, face-to-face individual voters. There's time, Jasmine knows this, because she knows any politician who ran, especially the ones like Nancy Pelosi who've been in politics for a while, they'll see this clearly. There's times when they know when they talk to the voters. If I sat down with one of them and broke it down, you need 3 messages. You know you need a message for the voters. Man, I can't even tell you. You need 3 messages. The thing about Mamdani is his message. Listen, Jasmine can get up there and she can say what she say about President Trump and still win an election. She just can't. The stuff she's saying about President Trump, she can't be doing that with the voters. Because if she's doing that with the voters aren't going to vote on that. You see what I'm saying? You got some voters and they'll vote on just hating President Trump. But I'm saying he's not on the ballot the next time. So I'm trying to get you to vote for me. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you. That's how you talk to the voters. But I'm saying when she doing her television appearances on CNN and them other places, she got famous for fighting against President Trump. You just know what you're doing. And Ghost know what he doing. I walked the dog on one of these politicians in a presidential campaign. I'm the strategist who I want you to tell me we ain't got a chance of winning. That's what I want them to tell me when listen, I want them to call me and said I ran an internal poll, Ghost. We came up at 30-some% against Paxton, and they said we ain't got a chance of winning. I want her to call me. She gonna pay me less than what she'll pay anybody else, and she'll win that election by 30 points. Cause I know what I'm tapped in with the people. I know what the people feel. Thank you for the donation, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know what the people feeling. I know what the people thinking, and I know what the people need. I don't need see President Trump, he got to go hire Ghost to know how the people feel. He got to go hire somebody. I know what the people are feeling. I know what they thinking. I know what they saying. And if I had to come to Texas, Ghost already know halfway. But if I got to come to Texas to your district or the district you running your campaign at, and I'm going to just hit the ground, all I got to talk to is about 5 different people. And I'm going to get a feel of what's going on in your community. I might not even have to talk to nobody. I just could ride around and I got a feel of what's going on in your community. Some people just got that and some people don't. You know what I'm saying? So President Trump, he says, we agree a lot more than I thought. That's after letting journalists and cameras into the Oval Office. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours to do very well. He's talking about New York City. The meeting in the Oval Office, where Trump is sometimes embarrassed or chastened visiting his estate, for Trump's prediction earlier on Friday that it would be quite cordial. That's because President Trump, he recognizes what's happening in America. He grabbed a hold of a populist movement, and they said President Trump was a populist. Y'all hold up real quick. So he grabbed a hold of a populist movement, and they said President Trump is a populist, but he sees where the country is headed right now. He sees where it's turning. Not only does he see Zoran and the Democrats, even the centralists in Virginia won, not only does he see Zoran and the Democrats getting popular amongst the people, he sees the popularity Zoran has with the media. I'm talking about they want to see Zoran. 30, 40 years. Listen to him talk. Anybody in politics, we watch politicians. We listen to, all I do is listen to old people talk all day. That's all I do. I listen to President Trump. I listen to JD. I listen to Kamala. I listen to ain't Zoran just different. He like Barack Obama type. His speech, he on point. And President Trump see that. And if Bernie Sanders then went across America, he got 1,000 Zorans. What you gonna do against it? Big Bernie got 1,000 Zorans. Y'all think it's a game? Nancy Pelosi ain't safe. Chuck Schumer, AOC gonna get you. AOC a Zoran. AOC more than a Zoran. Y'all just feel how y'all feel about her because y'all know her. But I'm telling y'all, AOC, she fight for the people. Everything. You know what I'm saying? The two men, different generations of New Yorkers, announced nothing new on policy except what seemed to be the launch of an unexpected politics shifting professional friendship. What I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, but also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers, Mamdani said. Just 26% of Americans say Trump is doing a good job at managing the cost of living. 26% of Americans. 26%. He know what Marjorie Taylor Greene's saying. They gonna get cream crop. 26% support. And out them 26% support, most of them ain't voting. In the midterms, your party, the party in power, isn't enthusiastic. So a lot of these MAGA and Republicans, they're not even going to vote in 2026. But the Democrats, they can't wait. 26% say you're doing a good job at managing the cost of living. And you bumping heads with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She trying to help you out, buddy. According to a Reuters Ipsos poll. Meanwhile, Mamdani promising a freeze on rents and free buses and childcare. Oh, yeah, we love him. It was one of the slew of Democratic victors. One of the slew of Democratic victors. President Trump, he smell it. He smell what the rock is cooking. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? President Trump, he smell it. Hey, Ghost, no. You could go anywhere with anybody and they'll tell you anything. Ghost gonna tell you exactly like it is, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. 26% of Americans. That's who you got with you, President Trump. Real talk, 26%. Any election that happened, you finna get cream crop. Meanwhile, Mamdani promising a freeze on rents, free buses, and childcare. Yeah. Slew of Democratic victors around the country in elections earlier this month. It was among the most deflating nights endured by Republicans this year. Oh, it ain't over yet. And Trump had not been expected to enjoy the reminder through a visit by one of the most prominent Democratic winners. Nah, it ain't no reminder. He ain't look at Mamdani as a reminder. He looked at Mamdani like, oh man, that's what's finna happen to me. Cause I know if this was 2026, I know what that mean. That mean I'm impeached. Oh man, who is this young democratic socialist? Come here, socialist. He kissing on the socialist. Look at President Trump, where he was with MAGA and where he's at today. He running off Marjorie Taylor Greene and kissing the socialists. MAGA. It's not like she just joined MAGA. She more goated than Tulsi Gabbard. Listen, Christy, you know I love you, Christy. Christy Noem, Homeland Security Secretary. Miss Gorgeous, you know I'm sweet on you, Miss Gorgeous. But she more goated than MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene more goated than Christy Noem. She more goated than Pam Bondi. Laura Loomer, Marjorie Taylor Greene is more goated in MAGA than you are. I don't care what your relationship is with President Trump. I don't care what your relationship is with his kids. And I don't care how much they like you. I'm telling you, Laura Loomer, if I said your name to 5 people, they wouldn't know you. They know Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's what I'm saying. She like the most goated female in MAGA. And if you want to see how far President Trump has moved from MAGA, don't listen. If you just look at MAGA and you just look at the Republican Party, they're not doing good right now. I'm going to tell you, you might not know it, but if you don't know it, you're going to find out next year. And when you start turning the tide back in the Republicans' favor President Trump, I'll be the first one to let you know. But the tide is still against you. With everything that happened and everything you've seen, the tide is still against you. Know that. So having known that and seeing what's happening in the country, that's part of the reason why he hugging on Mamdani. He heard Mamdani saying he need to build more houses. Mamdani is going up there with that. Mamdani, I could work with you. You only 34 though, but I could work with you. I bet you his handlers or whoever, his advisors, they love advising him. Because he's staying on message and he's staying on point. You could tell the politicians who don't have any special interests because he comes up there straight addressing the need. We need to build more housing units in New York. And President Trump had to agree on that. But President Trump isn't addressing that because that's a problem we have nationwide. But Mamdani came to him and said, we need to build more housing units, and he agreed. That's why I said he need more Democrats around him. If he had Democrats around him, he'd probably be the best president we ever had. Because President Trump, he'll listen to some stuff. If you tell him a good idea, you throw him a good idea, he'll probably listen to it. So that's what I'm saying. I said Mamdani came and he told President Trump he need to build more houses. President Trump said he agreed. Mamdani focused. The president who found his fame as a New York real estate developer brightened at Mamdani's call for more housing in the city he will leave from January 1st. Trump was cheered to hear a chunk of New Yorkers who voted for him in last year's presidential election had gone on to vote for Mamdani. When we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak of the cost of living. Trump, who says he is paying increasingly attention to affordability and inflation, said this makes sense to him. Some of his ideas are the same ideas I have. The better he does, the happier I am. In the weeks before they met, Trump had labeled Mamdani a radical left lunatic, a communist, and a Jew hater. Mamdani has espoused Noradic-style democratic socialism, not communism. While a staunch critic of Israel, he has endorsed by prominent Jewish politician as bringing Jewish staff into his new administration. Noticeably, New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch has reportedly condemned anti-Semitism. Jessica Tisch, baby, I hear a lot of good things about you. They real high on you. I never hear them try to protect the police commissioner like they do you, Miss Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Real high on you, Miss Jessica. So you must be a good person. You must be a good woman. That's what I would think. You know what I'm saying? They made sure you stayed, and I paid attention to that. I'm saying they was doing that in the debates. They was doing that right before the election. And Mamdani, he's so good at it. So he knew that, you know what I'm saying, that they wanted to keep her, and that was a great political move. He's very politically savvy. Because I would have told him to keep Jessica at least through your first year or two so they'll feel comfortable that, you know what I'm saying, the streets of the city will still be safe. You got that police commissioner that everybody got confidence in. You definitely need to keep her there. And he's keeping her. You know what I'm saying? Trump also defended the Uganda-born Mamdani, who will be New York City's first Muslim mayor, for some of his Islamophobic slurs he has faced. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this word like Islamophobic. Okay? So that's just basically, you know what I'm saying? What they trying to say is that some people, first mayor, President Trump was defending him for them attacking him because he was a Muslim. And Mamdani, you gonna have to deal with that. He already knows that. I think he's real good at that. But because he is a Muslim and he is of Muslim faith, some people fear Islam, so they attacking him. It's Islamophobic. They got a fear of Islam. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I seen the word. I'm like, what? No, I don't, Trump said as Mamdani looked on. I met with a man who is a very rational person. So they asked President Trump if he still believed Mamdani was a jihadist. A jihadist. Man, that's racist though, really. No, I told you, like, my homegirl, she a Muslim. Zara, she a Muslim, bro. I love that girl to die. I'll marry her tomorrow. Probably would, seriously. I love that girl to death. She my bestie. I got another homeboy. He a Muslim too. He a city councilman in Mississippi, in a Republican district, a city councilman. He changed his name from Muhammad to Jackson, though. But he a cool dude, man. You ain't gonna know no different than he a Muslim than you, unless you ask him. And you find out he a Muslim. When you say a jihadist ain't nothing like an American Muslim. They two totally different people. A jihadist ain't nothing like MSB over in Saudi. Or MBS, bin Salman, Mohammed bin Salman. I can't pronounce your name, my boy. I apologize. But MBS, yeah. He's not a jihadist. It's a big difference between him and Hamas. He helped orchestrate peace between the Jews and the Muslims. The leader of Jordan, the president of Jordan, he a Muslim too. The president of Turkey is a Muslim. It's a bunch of Muslim men over there that aren't lunatics and are crazy. It's a difference between a Muslim and a jihadist. Just like it's a difference between a Christian and somebody who going to kill a bunch of people in God's name. That person killing people in God's name ain't no Christian for real. He's just a Christian in word. Just like that jihadist who killing a bunch of people, the Muslims look at him like he not a Muslim for real. He just a Muslim in word. That's what I'm saying. A criminal is a criminal. Republican, Democrat, no, he a criminal. And a criminal is a criminal. Christian, Muslim, no, he a criminal. Somebody who a Muslim, you ain't supposed to be killing in God's name. That's murder. And if somebody who a Christian, it's the same thing. But a jihadist, though, he will kill in God's name. That's what I'm saying. You calling Mamdani a jihadist? Some politicians and commentators were discombobulated. They using some words in this article. Discombobulated by the televised friendliness. Who cares? At least a couple Republicans said they didn't trust Mamdani. Who cares? Who cares? Those Republicans talking like that, President Trump, they everything wrong with your party. Everything. Mike Johnson, you doing that to Marjorie Taylor Greene, you just ensured that y'all gonna lose. And you gonna be a minority leader. And after a while, President Trump gonna get rid of you too. Mike Johnson, he'll do the same thing he did to you to Mike Pence. Why wouldn't he? Who is special about you? Mike Johnson don't see it like that. Speaker Johnson, you might not see it like that, but he'll do the same thing to you he did to Vice President Pence. And he did to MTG. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? What the heck just happened? U.S. Representative Rashid Tlaib, a Democrat from Michigan, wrote on social media sharing a clip of the meeting Trump Mamdani's buddy moments. They don't like that, boy. And you know, the hardline Democrats, they're not going to like that. Trump had repeatedly urged New Yorkers not to vote for Mamdani, warning it would be a disaster for the city that is already portrayed as crime-ridden hellscape by conservative media, despite being among the safest big cities in the country. After his first term as president, Trump decamped from Manhattan to become a Florida resident. So, guys, I'm going to ask y'all one more time. If y'all have not liked the video, that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. I see y'all down in the comments. Y'all have been all stream long. I really appreciate that. Republicans, independents, and Democrats, letting your voice be heard. I see my boy Angelo down there. Good morning, Angelo. Angelo, a big channel supporter. He one of my top channel supporters. Angelo says, as long as the Democratic Party supports drag story. Hey, that's Angelo. See, look, my people, they know where they know Ghost. So you might hear Ghost, he leaning left today. You know what I'm saying? President Trump then got rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That looked like that's flaw as I don't know what, Angelo. You know that's flaw. The way he did that to Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's so flawed. Because if he did that to her and she spent millions to help him get there, stuck her neck out there for her, you know he'd do that to you, Angelo. You hadn't spent $1. He don't even know you. You know he'd throw you under the bus if he threw her under the bus like that. So Angelo feel the vibes. He feel like, you know, Ghost leaning a little bit to the left today. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna come out there talking about drag story hour to children. Hey, if you a Democrat, I know you gotta laugh at that, boy. Drag story hour to children. Angelo, you all the way out there. He said real Christians, Muslims, and Jews ain't rocking like that. Nah, we not rocking like that. We really not, though. That's just the bottom line, man. He said, Ghost, there's millions of us ex-Democrat voters in the country. Yeah, there is. And there's millions of ex-Republican voters in the country, too. Angelo, it swing both ways. You see what I'm saying? It could swing either way. The pendulum, it swings back. And you seen the clock, Angelo? It swings back and forth. It's about the policies and the moves and the decisions you make to either help or hurt the people. That's what it's about. And I try to tell y'all that all the time. That's what it's about. It's always going to come down to that. Look, President Trump, so basically President Trump and them back in a day or a time period of where they don't really care about what happens. We just going to shove this down the American voters' vote and we going to try to make a pivot. I don't know. That's why the Republicans won 1 in 5 elections. Nationally, on a presidential level, they won 1 in 5. That first election against Gore, did Bush beat Gore in that election? We don't know. But it was real close. A lot of people said Al Gore won the popular vote. Did Al Gore win that popular vote? I know in the second election, Bush won the popular vote. But after George Bush, you had 2 terms of Barack Obama. He won both popular votes handily. The third, you had a term of President Trump, but he lost that popular vote by 3 million votes to Hillary. The fourth presidential election, you had Joe Biden, and the 5th one was President Trump. He just won the popular vote. So out of the last 5 elections, the Republicans won 1 of the popular vote. If you go back before President Bush and you go back to President Clinton, I think you'll get 5, 6, you'll get 8 elections. The Republicans might have won 2 times the popular vote, 2 times out of 8 elections. I'm not sure they won the popular vote with Al Gore on that first election. I'll have to look it up. Wait till I stop, y'all. I'll look it up. Did President Trump beat Al Gore in the popular vote in that first time he ran against him? If not, the Republicans beat the Democrats 2 times out of 8 elections. Anybody who's smart, common sense ain't that common. Anybody who got any intelligence will stop and will give pause to that. You're going to give pause to that. And the reason why you're going to give pause to that is because you're going to know what is it that's causing us to lose these elections, Angelo? Because whatever's causing you to lose the elections is steadily happening. It keeps happening. Whatever that is, it keeps happening. And Ghost come on here and he told you what that is. Real talk. Ghost has came on here multiple times and told y'all what that is. I always say this is where the Republicans implode, right here. Trying to take money from the poor people to give it to the rich. You know, as soon as them voters get back in the voting booth, you know what they finna do to you. I mean, as soon. This is where the Republicans implode. Angelo, I'll be right back, baby. You riding with Big Ghost. Big Ghost Rider. He said Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida. George Bush ended up winning. I know. You know what I'm saying? I thought Jeb was going to be President Trump. You know, a lot of y'all don't know Jeb Bush ran against President Trump. That was the time when Marco ran too. Like, during that time, Angelo, I ain't going to lie, that first presidential election, like, I was hoping Marco won. If Marco won, I probably would have supported him over Hillary, but Marco didn't win. Obviously, President Trump won, and I ended up supporting Hillary. But President Trump ended up winning the election. You know what I'm saying? So, man, forget something. They cannot control him. They hate a renegade, and he making them eat what they pay out. I love it because he putting the mirror up and letting them see themselves. Yes. That we love all politicians like that. Any politician I ever see like that, Angelo, that's the politicians that we love. We love the politicians like that. That's the politicians I love. The politicians who just real, who care about the people, who working for the people. Angelo, what we don't realize is we don't see the hidden conversations between these donors and these politicians. That's another thing. If you represent a politician, or say you are not representing a politician, say you You advising a politician, okay? When you advising a politician, you gonna know the people who coming to y'all, the donors. You know the donors. So while your politician out there promising they gonna do A, B, and C, you just know that you just took $1 million from ExxonMobil. So you know you ain't gonna be worried about doing nothing to cut no gas prices. You just took $1 million from ExxonMobil, and you know that. And I'm saying what'll happen is I'm saying these people who are helping the politicians, they call themselves helping the politicians, right? So their strategists, they know the politician just took $1 million from ExxonMobil. They know taking that $1 million from ExxonMobil, they know for 1,000% fact, 10,000% fact, 20,000% fact. Taking that $1 million from ExxonMobil, you already know that you ain't gonna be able to cut gas prices. You know that. So what I'm saying is, if I was advising the candidate, I wouldn't let the candidate say they were gonna do stuff that they ain't gonna be able to do. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? If you doing something and you can't help the people, you can't. I would advise you not to be saying that you're going to cut gas prices, and you know you can't cut gas prices. You know you can't get these gas prices cut. You know you can't. So why are you saying you're going to cut gas prices when you know you can't get them cut? You know what I'm saying? If I was a candidate, if I was advising a candidate, that's how I would move. You know? Only going to do stuff that we know we could get done. Yeah, some states gas is $2.79 a gallon. Some states is cheaper than that. Angelo. He said Islam supports pedophilia. What? You said Islam supports pedophilia. I want to show y'all how crazy these people are. So Islam supports pedophilia. Was Jeffrey Epstein an Islamic? All the people on the Epstein list, they Islamic. You think it don't need no religion to support something for people to do it? You think religion, Islam support you having sex with 100 women too. So I'm saying you got, I could name, I don't want to name nobody's name, Stephon Diggs, he Islamic. That's what I'm saying. You have a bunch of people have sex with a bunch of different women, so they Islamic now, because they have, Islam supports having sex with women. So what's that mean? Islam supports pedophilia. Islam supports pedophilia. A lot of men, okay, you got to understand the customs of the religion too. A lot of men from back in the day, they used to marry women who were younger, okay? They weren't doing what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. So you thinking about pedophilia, or you think where they messing with children. They not messing with children like that, bro. They do marry 14 and 15-year-olds. But he married to the 15-year-old. He taking care of the 15-year-old. He having children with the 15-year-old. It wasn't like what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend was Ghislaine Maxwell. That's his girlfriend. So what he was doing was he was harming children for his own pleasure. Ain't no man, no grown man need to be having sex with a 15-year-old. That is that's beyond sick and disgusting. I think a 21-year-old, to me, a 21-year-old too young. I'm 45. I look at Jasmine. You feel me? Jasmine, I'm on you, girl. Look at Jasmine. She 44. She a grown woman. That's fine. And then you look at a 15 or a 21-year-old, nah, she not. I think messing with a 21-year-old is kind of, you know what I'm saying? But there's balances to those situations. You just got to have the wisdom to be able to have the balance. That's all it is. But Islam promotes pedophilia. I mean, Christianity don't promote pedophilia, but I know a lot of people who saying they Christians who pedophiles. You see what I'm saying? I know a lot of people saying that ain't gonna make me not like the I listen. I don't have you act like I have a thing for Islam. I don't have no thing for Islam. Jesus Christ is my savior. Not I believe in Jesus Christ. Not no, I follow and practice. Jesus Christ is my savior. Period. What language you need me to say that in? Jesus Christ is my savior. Period. There's no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved but the name of Jesus Christ. Understand that. Why I got a problem with a Muslim for after I said that? Why I got a problem with a Muslim for? My homegirl Zara, okay? That's my baby. Yeah, she my baby for real. I got her in my phone, Zara baby. I love her to death. She's sweet as could be. And she a Muslim, and I promise I would have married her. I would have. Honestly. She's still my homegirl to this day. I love her to death. And she a Muslim. But I'm saying, what difference do it make that she, the only time it make, like these people who saying you Christians, you don't talk to people about God anyway. You ain't gonna tell nobody about Jesus anyway. So why you really care if he a Muslim or not? You ain't talking to nobody about God, but ghosts will. So the only time it matter between me and Zara that she not a Christian is when we start talking about Jesus. And when we talk about Jesus, just like JD got this problem. So JD just converted to Catholicism and his wife is a Hindu. And you know, all the MAGA people, I'm telling you, they're crazy, JD. Like, you need to redefine your party. Don't let them say nothing about your wife, JD. Your wife is a gorgeous woman. I would love to marry an Indian woman. Love to. I'll marry any race. I don't care. I'm not racist. I don't care what color she is. She a woman. She a woman. She a woman. That's what matters. Her race is insignificant to me. But JD, like, because you a white man, they might feel the white supreme race, all them races, you should have married a white woman. That's why you need to kick all them people out your party. You know what I'm saying? The different religions, I guess it do matter. You're not supposed to be equally yoked with an unbeliever. So you could say that she an unbeliever. And so I'm marrying an unbeliever. But I'm saying, like, you have somebody who's saying they're a Christian, and because somebody say they something don't mean that they are. I could say I'm a millionaire. I could say I got more money than Elon. That's why I'm wearing a Tesla shirt. I got more money than Elon. Because somebody say something don't mean nothing. That's just me talking. I'm saying I got more money than Elon, but I really don't. Because somebody saying they're a Christian don't necessarily mean they're a Christian. And what I'm saying, because somebody saying they a Muslim or they believe in Islam, you know what I'm saying? Y'all thinking about those terrorist Muslims. You thinking about those Hamas and Iran. But that's only a certain segment of people who believe in that style of Islam. Like I said, MBS, the king of Saudi, the crown prince of Saudi, Mohammed bin Salman, my boy, he believe he a Muslim, but they ain't going around just randomly killing randoms like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, because you believe in Islam or because you a Muslim don't mean that you gonna do A, B, C, or D. What does that mean? Because I believe in Jesus. So you believe in Muhammad, I believe in Jesus. So what's up, Muhammad believer? That's how I talk to Zara. I promise you, that's my baby still. We still gonna get out. She still gonna hop in the BMW and we still gonna spin. That's my baby, little cute girl, little cute woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my baby, but she a Muslim. I mean, she believe in Muhammad. As long as she can't convert me, she ain't gonna convert me. As long as she know that I'm gonna tell you, and I'll convince you not. I'm not like them kind of people. She wouldn't be my friend if I was the kind of person who picked on her. Like, cause it was some people in school during 9/11, they picked on her. They don't know her. Zara, the sweetest girl you'll ever meet. She a sweetheart. I'm talking about a big heart. She'll do anything for you. That's why when I say marry, she'll do anything for you. So I'm saying I know her personally, and she is a Muslim. I don't know if you say she a Muslim, like even like the Muslims here. She don't go to no synagogues or no mosque. So I love you, baby. But see, it ain't like I don't know if you call her a practicing Muslim, but she believe in it. Just like these people who saying they Christians, they not practicing Christians, but they believe in Christianity. Angela, what I'm saying, she believe in Islam. But I mean, you gonna stop being friends with her because she believe in Islam? To me, that's crazy. Like, Mamdani is a Muslim, so I'm not gonna be cool with him. The dude got a rap song. Mamdani got a rap song. Y'all know that? Man, come on, that boy. They asked Mamdani if he smoked weed before. He said, yeah. He got a rap song and he was smoking weed. He more American than he more like us than these people. Some of these dudes saying they Christian. Andrew Cuomo say he a Christian. He don't smoke. He said he don't smoke no weed. He ain't got no rap songs, but he can't stop harassing females. He can't just, all the money he got, all the power and prestige, he can't just find one woman to stick his whatever in. He can't find one woman. He got to be messing with 1,000 females. But he not a Muslim, and he don't listen to the rap music, and he ain't smoking weed. So you saying Como check all the boxes, but he like 100 years old, and he can't stop messing with women. If you see how I talk about Christy Nome, how pretty she is, or even Jasmine. With Jasmine my age. So if I seen Jasmine, of course I'll be trying to dust her. She my age, and she pretty out sweet on her. You know what I'm saying? But you see how I talk about Jasmine? If I work for Jasmine, it's like you got to know how to separate that. He don't know how to separate it. Andrew Cuomo, he don't know how to separate it. He don't know how to separate the fact that this is a gorgeous woman, but she worked for me or I work for her. So we gonna put all that down to the side. Unless you want to do it. But if you want to do it, it's only going to be one female. I'm not going to be trying to talk to every single female that come through there. That's where they mess up at. It's only one female that I'll be fooling with. I'm not going to try to fool with all the females. Andrew Cuomo, he's trying to fool with all the women. So he's supposed to be a Christian. You have a Christian Andrew Cuomo. Just because somebody say they're a Christian don't mean that they are. Not hating on you, sir. I'm talking about all Christians, including myself. So you have a Christian Andrew Cuomo against a Muslim Zoran Mamdani. Andrew Cuomo is 60 and I'm 45 and Zoran 34. Who you think I identify more with? The 60-year-old or the 34-year-old? The 34-year-old. Okay. Zoran said he smoked weed. And Andrew Cuomo, he square as a box. You see what I'm saying? Zoran said he made rap songs. Bro, you know Zoran cool as a fan. I don't care what nobody say. He could be all straight-faced. He could be all straight-faced and affordability. He say he a good politician. I think if I was a politician, I'd be a good politician too. Because I understand what it takes to win. You see what I'm saying? So I think I'll be a good he a good politician, but you know he cool as a fan, bro. You know, Angelo, if you could hang with with Andrew Cuomo or Zoran Mamdani, be real, who you gonna hang with? So Zoran a Muslim. It ain't like when you hang out with him, you gonna be talking about Jesus anyway. Just be real. When I go to church on Sunday, I'm not gonna see Zoran in there. But when I go to work or to the movie theater to wherever else, I'm a bump into Zoran and he a cool dude. Oh, he believe Muhammad is the same. It ain't like he don't believe in God. The Muslims, Jews, and Christians believe the same God. Angelo with that donation, he says we straight men will always lust. I don't know about lust. We Christians. Well, maybe so, but I'm saying as a Christian, I'm supposed to not act on that lust, Angelo, and I've done a great job of not acting on that lust. Look, you saying lust and beautiful women, Angelo, I was talking about Zara. That Zara thing, that's not really a lust thing. She is pretty, and she's very sexy. You know what I'm saying? And I've liked her like that for a long time, Angelo, but I don't think that I'm lusting after her. I've known her for 23 years. You know what I'm saying? That's more of that's my homie. You know what I'm saying? Now you say Jasmine, you said me lusting after Jasmine. Jasmine, am I lusting after you? I wouldn't say I'm lusting after her. I just say she fine. She a fine girl. She a fine woman. Jasmine Crockett is fine. I just think she fine. Out of all the women in the Senate that I know that I just go and just holler at and just try to grab on to, it's definitely Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Angelo, it definitely is natural to look on a beautiful woman and desire her. You definitely should be looking on beautiful women and desiring them instead of looking on men and If you looking at a man desiring him, I would think something definitely wrong. Definitely. Who you talking about, Jasmine? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jazzy, if you watch this, you see how I pinned that comment. It's going to be more than that, though. It ain't just going to be like just and run, not with her. No, I don't do that with a girl like Jasmine. Angelo, I'm going to sit down for a minute. I promise you, I'm going to rock with it. I'm a Christian, Angelo, and I'm grown. And I'm a Christian. So in my mind, Angelo, I'm thinking every time I sleep with a different girl, I'm sinning against God. God wanted you to, he said, let every man have one woman and one woman and a woman have one man. So God wants you to be in a stationary position with that female, and I recognize that. So that keeps me from just going out there, just being how I was when I was younger, Angelo. I was just whole bunch of different women, just crazy. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me from being crazy and just getting after a whole bunch of different women, and instead just with the ones that I'm with one or two that or one or two with one that I should. So because of that, Angelo, what I'm saying is, yeah, she fine, but like I don't just look at females and I'm a dust and run. I don't do that stuff. So if I dust, I know I'm probably going to be sitting there for a minute because you only supposed to be with one female, supposed to marry. You know what I'm saying? So that keep me from just clapping on or getting at any woman. I'm going to just chill for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to just be going out there dumping like that. I ain't in my 20s no more. Or my 30s. I should say I ain't in my 30s no more, and I'm a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jasmine, she is a gorgeous female. Jasmine, I hope you hear me say this. I'll tell you to your face. Jasmine, if I ever see you, you getting in this BMW on the spot. On the spot. Real talk. I'm that kind of dude. Y'all don't know ghosts. Jasmine, come here, Representative Crockett. Let me tell you something real quick, girl. Oh yeah, that's how I get down. You know what I'm saying? She is fine. She what you want me to say? She a gorgeous woman. She my age too. She 44 and she looking like that. Oh yeah, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. She single? Oh yeah, I'm finna get at her. Ain't no different. Hey, you see Angelo saying he's not man. Hey, on me right now, bro. I'm sorry though, Angelo. She fine though. She can though. Straight up. Jasmine, I'm putting it out there. I hope I ain't embarrassing you. I'm sorry, baby, if I'm embarrassing you, but yeah. AOC too, though. Straight up. I'm just being real. Like, for real. Like, it's one thing. Like, look, Nikki Haley, I like Nikki Haley a lot. A whole lot. I'm saying if I was a Democrat, if she won the Republican nomination, I would be scared because Ghost might support her. That's how much I like Nikki Haley. But I don't look at Nikki Haley as somebody I would sleep with. She's a gorgeous woman. She's very gorgeous. I can't say I wouldn't be attracted to her. But I wouldn't say that I don't look at her like saying I would sleep with her. You see what I'm saying? I don't look at AOC saying, I don't even look at Jasmine saying, but I'm attracted to Jasmine like that. That's what I'm saying. Kristi Noem is gorgeous. She look like Pocahontas. She is just, to me, I don't care about none of that other stuff I heard them say about her. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate beautiful women. That's what Ghost is. You know what I'm saying? She's a gorgeous woman, but I mean, she's 60 years old. Not saying nothing wrong with that. You know, I'll probably marry me a cougar. Like, real talk. For Kristi, no, oh yeah, I would do that gladly. But she's 60 years old and she married. You know what I'm saying? So, like, most women that I think attractive is because I'm 45. I'm not like a raging hormones 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Most women that I think attractive, I see her, she gorgeous, she beautiful, I'm attracted to her, but it's never no thoughts that I'm gonna get on you. But Jasmine, I got thoughts like that I'll get you, girl. I promise you. I'll put my name on you, Jazz. I'm just playing, y'all. I ain't gonna be like that, though, for real, because I might end up having to work for some of these people. If y'all hadn't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. My boy Angelo got your boy Ghost in here for 2 hours and 40 minutes, baby. We still getting it in. On a Saturday. This wasn't even supposed to be a stream we did today. Y'all, if y'all want to know when we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So anytime after 6:30 a.m., if you come in this live stream or come to this channel, we'll be live on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. That's next week too for Thanksgiving. I got a vlog coming out on Thanksgiving as well. So you guys make sure y'all hit the notification bell with the subscribe button. Angelo, I just dropped a new video, man. Real talk, this morning. Y'all, it took me like 15 seconds to do the whole thing, edit it, upload it, and everything, y'all. I just dropped a new video. So make sure y'all go to the video tab. If you like hip-hop music or R&B music, and you like spoken word and you like politics, you're going to love these videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I just dropped one. And, you know, I'm talking about the Marjorie Taylor Greene situation, and I dropped it this morning, and it's available for you guys to watch. Guys, we've been streaming for 2 hours and 40 minutes, man. Angelo, appreciate your donation. You know what I'm saying? I got other people who be giving gifts. I hadn't seen them as a channel member, but next time I see them in here, I definitely will add them as a channel member, man. Like, I went live on Thursday, and this past Thursday, you guys donated $70 to me, man. You know what I'm saying? On the live stream. I know that's not a bunch of money in real life, but for a YouTuber, a new YouTuber who just was monetized like a year ago, for me, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty straight. Real talk. That's like the third or fourth best day that we had. Colin came on here. He was donating. Angelo, you donated too. You always donate. So, man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing those donations on YouTube, it just strengthens the channel. That's all it does. Angelo, I've spent over 10,000 easily this year on Legal Wars Live. A Miller Ray Legal, I only had one case. I got 5 cases, but I filed them in July. So since July, the last 3-4 months, I closed 1 case. But I still got 4 more cases open. So that's what a Miller Ray Legal does. I hadn't got paid off of a Miller Ray Legal. I do get paid off of YouTube. You see what I'm saying? But it's nowhere close to the money I'm spending. January, February, and March, just doing the Texas tour, Angelo, we did all those Wyndham hotels. I spent $5,000. I'm not going to make $5,000 off YouTube this year. The first tour I did, January, February, and March, I spent $5,000 bringing y'all all that content all over Texas. So I know y'all showing me love off that We the People tour, man. You ain't getting content, news, analysis, and travel content. You're not getting that nowhere else on YouTube. Joe Rogan ain't going out there in the woods in front of some beautiful mountain and lake to bring y'all content. He in the same studio he in every time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, David Pagman ain't going out in the woods to bring y'all content. Ain't nobody brought y'all no content like that. We the People, 4 months. Bro, I took y'all to Knoxville, Nashville. I'm trying to name all the cities while we here. Knoxville, Nashville. I took them through Kentucky, up through Illinois, Champaign, Chicago, Indiana, Notre Dame, went on to Michigan, Lake Michigan. Y'all remember that 3 a.m. in Michigan series? If y'all was on Instagram, following the Instagram content, took them 30-some days through Michigan, Lake Erie, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo. You feel me? Y'all want to keep going? Cleveland, Ohio. Went to Erie, Pennsylvania. Went to Jamestown, New York. Ithaca, New York. These are the stops that I made on the We the People tour. Just went to New York City last week. I'm in New York City right now in the metro. Just like Angelo in New York City in the metro, even though he in Jersey, he in the metro, New York. I'm in the state of New York, but I'm actually over here on the Hudson River. I'm in the New York City metro. Been here for a minute. So, man, that We the People tour, all the places, all the things I took y'all and seen, man, this stuff costing money. It ain't free. You know what I'm saying? Like, while I'm out here, just in the car, the gas. Just the gas that I took to do the live stream. And that's not me getting paid for none of my time. Just the gas to do the live stream, not me getting paid for none of my time. If you add in my time into the situation, it's like I'm almost not getting paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, that's the people, all the people who, everybody who started YouTube, they started not getting paid. It's something they enjoy doing. And then, as I told y'all, I want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a legal dude. I do legal stuff, you know? Want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals, so that's why I wanted to come on here and do this and talk about it, you know? So Legal Wars Live, still building it, man. You know what I'm saying? Ameliorate Legal, my business, still building it. Still working on some stuff, man. Working on myself, still building myself, you know? But in the meantime, between time, bro, I bring y'all all the great political analysis, bro. You know what I'm saying? Try to give y'all, like, just the real, you know? The news, tell you guys what's all going on and everything, man. Angelo been riding with me, man, support me like day one. You know what I'm saying? We got some supporters, bro. Just want to grow the channel, man, and just keep building. You know what I'm saying? A network of truth. Anybody's channel I've seen on YouTube, if I look at, I call David Pagman all the time. If I look at Pagman's channel, his whole channel is Democrats. If I look at Rogan's channel, Rogan is in the middle. If I look at Tucker Carlson's channel or Megyn Kelly's channel, they're all Republicans. All MAGA people watching Megyn Kelly. Even through the infighting, it's all Republicans. I'm saying, outside of Joe Rogan, I don't know who you see on YouTube who have a channel. Like Ghost got a channel where I welcome Republicans and Democrats. We have just as many Republicans almost in this live stream as we do Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of that, man. Ahmad, what's up, Ahmad, man? He one of my biggest channel members, man. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Ahmad. I appreciate you being here, my boy. If you guys have not liked the video, make sure you guys like that video for me, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Oh, yeah, but that's good, though, Angelo, for you to do that. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't do that, though. Most people, they just, Angelo, look, you used to vote Democrat, too, didn't you? So even though you voted for President Trump, Angelo, I really would classify you as a swing voter. You kind of in the middle. But I'm saying most people who their whole life they've been Republicans or their whole life they've been Democrats, Angelo, they gonna stay Republican or Democrat. I know a lot of people do. Listen, a MAGA person isn't gonna go to David Patton's channel. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying somebody in MAGA isn't gonna go to a hardline Democrats channel to support them. It's just not gonna happen. Point blank, period. And a Republican isn't gonna, a Democrat isn't gonna be just chilling on Tucker Carlson or Megyn Kelly's channel. Democrats can't stand Tucker Carlson. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, man. Ghost is somebody, he like Joe Rogan kind of, but I don't really know much about Rogan, but I'm saying with Ghost, bro, you're gonna get Republicans and Democrats in here. You know what I'm saying? If you come in this stream and you seen a moderator, you wouldn't even understand it. You see Angelo and Brian C. And then you come in this channel too. I'm trying to think how Aloha Kitty would be. You come in this channel too and you'll see straight Democrats, hardline Democrats as moderators. And this one, the only channels that I've ever seen where you have Democrats and Republicans. You don't know if Ghost is a Democrat or a Republican. We might lean left one day and we might be leaning right the next day. Angelo, which way we leaning today? All we know is that President Trump shouldn't have did that to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, guys, it's Big Ghost Rider, man. This is the first stream I might have did a 3-hour stream like 2 times since I've been going live, man. Bro, I got thousands of people all over the country who support me, man. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's about getting the support that will help me go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And for that, I would kind of blame myself, because I got a lot of people who do support me and who will support me and who believe in what I'm saying, or even if they don't believe in what I'm saying, they recognize that what I'm saying is true. You know what I'm saying? Even though I do have that, I will say that, I don't get as much support from people as, at least I would say I think I should. You know what I'm saying? I don't get as much support. That being said, I do get support, and I'm thankful for the support I do get, and I do appreciate it. 1,000%. I appreciate all the love and support, the dollars, $2, $5, $100. I appreciate it all. The people who just come in here faithfully, like a mod. You know what I'm saying? And they might just come in here and they might just all just speak truth, or they might just participate in the process. You got to support those people too, because it's people like that who support. So everybody who comes into the live stream and who support me, man, I appreciate you. I thank y'all. I tell everyone, like we talk about Mamdani being a Muslim, and I tell everyone, man, I'm a Christian. I told y'all this morning, and I continue to tell y'all this, bro. I believe that Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for our sins. I believe the blood Jesus shed on that cross, I believe it washes away our sins. It pays for our sins. You know what I'm saying? I believe if you pray for forgiveness, you ask Jesus to forgive you of your sins, you trust that he forgive you and he save your soul from hell. Because people say it's a radical religion. I believe in hell. What's the point of having a penalty for people doing wrong? You think that everybody's just going to go to heaven and no one's going to go to hell. If that was true, why would anyone ever do right? We'll just all do wrong all the time, and then whatever penalty we got to pay, we just got to pay it. We ain't going to never go to hell. It ain't gonna never be no punishment. Listen, you know, if somebody get caught murdering somebody, they could do 100 years, 1,000 years. It feel like it, they'll give you life. They'll kill you in some situations for killing somebody. But you know, men still do it. You know, I probably wouldn't murder nobody, or somebody wouldn't murder nobody. They'd be like, oh, we're not gonna murder nobody because we don't want to pay a penalty. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, what if there wasn't no penalty to pay for murdering someone? What if you could murder someone and not have to pay any penalty? You think more people would be murdered, right? Well, I'm saying you think you could live your life however you want to, and you would never have to pay a penalty for the way that you live, man. That's just not factual. We all gonna pay for what we did that wasn't right. Every last one of us. And that's why I believe in hell. I believe Jesus came, though. He suffered, he bled, and he died. And if you accept that sacrifice, his sacrifice he made on the cross is payment for your sins, I believe you will be forgiven, and I believe you will not go to hell. I believe that's how you go to heaven. It's by accepting Jesus as payment for your sin. I believe without doing that, I don't believe you'll go to heaven. And that's what I believe, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe if you go to a quiet room by yourself and you pray and you just ask Jesus to forgive you for your sins and you ask him to save your soul from hell. And I think if you do that from a sincere heart, I believe in my mind and in my heart that that's the way to go to heaven. Trusting and believing in the blood of Jesus Christ, man. That's what I believe. That being said, y'all, that's my time, man. Like I said, man, I've been on here kicking it with y'all today, man. 2 hours and 56 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I told you guys what I believe. I wake up every day. When I get in a situation that's bigger than me, you know what I'm saying? I trust in God, man. I believe in God because God is bigger than anything that we will ever face. You know what I'm saying? Every day that I wake up, bro, I say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Y'all, that's my time. Big Ghostwriter, I'm out. Y'all, we'll be live on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time, man. So make sure y'all tap in. Rhyme with Ghostwriter, baby. Big Ghostwriter, I'm out, man. I'm going to see y'all next time.